think that he acts differently?
Probably.
The day has gone by now, twice, Juneteenth, since it's been a federal holiday. Do either of you gentlemen see anyone and in a serious way say, hey, happy Juneteenth? This isn't just regular. Like
Somebody in high school, like the 70s.
yeah, like
God damn. Alright.
Stuck in my head. Two big fingers.
Yeah, have you listened to the song?
No, I don't know that one, but I listen to like Central C and Dave.
So you know it.
And like it's just stuck in my head with the way too big
We gotta play it. We gotta play it. I'm gonna play that one next. 666.
oh, sex.
I never.
Yo.
No, how'd they do that?
That's so funny.
Hey.
This up in his mouth, and I'm about to put my dick in it right now. Then I put it in his ass. Now he running, but it get all over my house. I'm about to make him gay.
There's no.
I know that he want it for real. Good sex with polo socks on mama's couch.
It's not AI.
Like all my hoes.
It's not AI.
Spit it out of their mouth. 100 rest to make them stay, or whatever it takes to make you stick around. I'm losing perspective on me. I gotta show you how to suck it for fun. You know that I got the best top. Just follow my lead like father, like son. You know that I still wanna play, so let's do it again like double or nine. You know that I shot my shot. I was texting your phone like you owe me one. You tell me what I shouldn't say. Well, fucking my nigga, it's already done. They already know that I wanted your buns. They know that I told you to buns. We might just have us a boy. Just give me a.
That joke was too. No, man, no.
So what I think is most interesting about it is just that why is there such a fascination with like gayness like being implemented in rap?
It's
Like
just
why?
funny. That's the only angle you don't hear normally.
It's funny because I said you saw this years ago.
Yeah,
Like we were in high school and
Yeah.
you were making those tracks.
I think it was.
Like
I think it was
gay
Flips.
rap tracks.
That track was. Yeah.
It's just funny though.
Yeah.
Because there's no way that everyone in rap is heterosexual.
No,
There's no way.
No.
But for some reason, no one. Well, no, it's not for some reason.
that's why
Like,
the
you
women
can't
rap
really
goes
come
so
forth-
fun. That's why the girl rappers now are so funny because like they're just rapping it like just really hardcore.
Like
It just-
fuck, about fucking.
Yeah, about getting fucking.
Yeah.
Bow.
Bow. That song is hilarious.
Sexy Red.
Sexy
Loves-
Red be she's like a. She's
I
a
like the
stripper.
music.
Yeah. I don't know anything about sex.
You don't know anything about Sexy Red?
You ain't missing out.
No, I've fallen off of a lot of music. Like there's, I don't know what's going on.
Bow. I want to see your reaction, bro.
Bow.
What's that song
Rock was
called?
playing some of
What's that
that.
song called?
There's Get It Sexy.
Get It
There's
Sexy. Let's play that one.
You My Everything.
You might. That's
With
more-
Drake.
With Drake raps over BBL Drizzy.
You know what she looks like?
Yeah, I think so.
It's gonna go, right?
Slim, thick, cool skin, 5'5", this bitch a 10. Her done, bills paid, catch me sliding in a Benz. I ain't looking for no man, I ain't recruiting no new friends. When we bad, fit with bands, gone sexy, do my dance. Well, you know this ass super fat. I ain't lying.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Okay. So, all right. We all like comedy here.
Yes.
It's comedy.
Okay. Well, hold on. No, it's comedy to you.
Yeah.
All right. So does anyone here have a woman comedian that they like a lot?
But
Like you would watch an hour special.
I saw Ali Wong's special like a couple years ago.
Yeah.
It was pretty good. I mean, would I watch it again? I don't know. But it was
Would
good.
you recommend it to your friends?
there's a couple.
Anyone?
Yeah,
Okay. So
there's a couple.
my understanding is that so this connection is just that a lot of women are just talk a lot about fucking. Like it's like stand-up comedians
Mhm.
as well as rappers. the fuck is going on with that? Like, there's a whole world of things to talk about, but for some reason,
It's just sells.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
It just sells.
yeah, what the fuck am I talking about?
Yeah.
It's the same with like, I would counter it too with like the male side with rap, like, I guess more so rap, but like, and you, I think, tweeted something about it the other day, and a buddy of mine in a group chat was talking about, he was like, I don't like dislike Kendrick, like as Kendrick, he's like, I just don't want to listen to like social injustice rap. I want shiesties and switches. And you said something about shiesties and switches on Twitter, made me think of that.
Yes.
Like that's what most people want to listen to. And then, but on the flip side, they'll also complain that that's all rap is. Right. Like, well, that's what people listen to.
Yeah.
And like people complain about like when WAP came out. They're like, oh my God. I'm like, but people listen to that.
Yeah.
Like,
It's sells.
Yeah, it's tough.
But that's really on just like the, I don't know any other than like female rap and female comedy, like you pointed out. I don't think any other sector does that really. If you look at other genres of music, you have, we've talked about it a lot, Taylor Swift. She doesn't really, I listened to her on the way up here and she dropped the F word and I was like,
Yeah, oh my God.
what?
Yeah. Oh my God.
This is like, Taylor. Get into this. Like,
Taylor.
People like edginess. They like edginess,
Yeah.
you know. They don't want too goody of a two shoes.
Yeah,
That's
it's
why
like
we try to
stuff
explain
you don't
the
talk
art
about.
Yeah.
Like,
Because he didn't understand why she was so popular.
He doesn't understand why Taylor Swift is popular?
Yeah.
oh, I didn't either.
He was hating. It's like because she's just very relatable to a very large population of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No? You don't think so?
No, she
Super relatable. She's not like,
she's been around for a long time too.
Yeah.
So like her reputation has been just building and building and building. And I mean, with the whole Kanye thing, like that like put her on the map in a negative way, but also in a positive way too, because she used that to twist it to like make her excel even more. You know, so it's all about the spotlight, like what we were talking about before.
the music be good. She got that machine behind her too. Like,
It's not like she's gonna put an album out and it's just going to sound terrible.
Like she doesn't have to go out like she's like the almost damn near like complete opposite of Beyonce. Like Beyonce has like the formations and you know what I mean? She's just out there just just having fun.
I don't know about,
you know what I mean?
complete opposite might be a stretch because like looking on Instagram, like Taylor's doing her big giant Eras tour.
Yeah.
Like it's a huge production.
Yeah.
So I think equally
It
they
is.
put Beyonce and her both put on massive productions. It's just a different, maybe more choreography.
Yeah.
Like,
that's what
Yeah.
like
Beyonce's
Taylor's doing
dancing
like
and-
she's doing nonstop like outfit changes like on stage. So,
That is pretty crazy.
That's
always
a huge
some-
thing. They're beautiful women. They can sing, and their lyricism is phenomenal. But that's the thing with Taylor Swift in particular is like she has her lyrics. If you listen to like her songs, they're deep and like have multiple
She
meanings,
got album
and they
cuts.
span across multiple albums too. And so, as these girls are listening to her more and more, they're making all these connections. And there's all these little Easter eggs, and like it's a major thing. It's a major thing, and they latch onto it.
Yeah.
Because they want to be a part of that. So,
Let me put some. It's hot. Hold on.
But yeah, but with like Sexy Red though, it's literally just like the stripper is rapping now. So like you go to the strip club and imagine imagine the stripper rapping, like performing.
I feel
that's
like-
what it is. And it's like, oh shit, this is different.
I feel like she's the female version
hilarious.
of Yin Yang Twins now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like really.
all right, let's not insult Ying Yang.
Well,
That's my childhood.
but if you listen to like interviews with Yin Yang Twins, they're being compared to Lil Jon. And they're like, we're not the same as Lil Jon because he made like the crunk scene, right? We made music for the strip clubs. They said that like in multiple interviews, like we made music for like the club bangers for the strip clubs. And so then the same thing with Sexy Red. Like she's making music for when you go to the club, it makes you want to go to the club. Makes
Am
you
I
want
wrong?
to
She was a
go.
stripper, right?
I don't know about that.
I know Cardi B was.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Sexy Red was a stripper.
I was about to say
Yeah.
we can't just
Yeah.
be throwing professions on
I'm
people.
pretty sure she
Like, oh,
was. Her first song was the what? My pussy pink, my booty hole brown. Yeah. Pound Town. Yes. Yes. Pound Town.
Twitter confirmed that was a lie.
That was her. Yeah, that was like her big single. And I was like, yo, this is a strip club anthem. Like, this is crazy. And all the strippers were dancing to it. That's how Future got big.
Oh yeah.
Because, what's his name? DJ what? What's his DJ's name?
Oh, Leland Wayne.
Yes,
Metro.
yeah, Metro. Metro would play Future and
Leland Wayne
over and over in the strip club, so they would know which songs were like hot because the strippers would tell you like, yeah, I can dance to this. So then they would play that song, and that's what blew up.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, see, I fell off for all this stuff. Like, the strip clubs were never. I always felt like
It's not that's not our world.
yeah, no, I always felt a little weird with the strip clubs.
Petting zoo,
A petting zoo.
petting zoo, bro. You ever been to a petting zoo? You got the little food and you feed the animals. They all flock you, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Replace the food with wine.
Tell you, bro. It's like the peanuts.
Yeah, with the,
yeah.
No, yeah.
You don't get the peanuts today.
Where is this going?
It's not.
Never.
Yo, I'll never forget, bro. After like one of the Cowboys games, I walk in with Luck, and I was sat next to the DJ like the whole game. This motherfucker gonna like shout me out like I'm somebody walking into the strip club. Oh shit, they go my nigga Mikey Wild, they got the light on me. I'm like, nigga, I am like, nigga, I am nobody. So all the strippers start walking on. I'm like,
I do not have peanuts.
I'm not about to throw. Yeah, what are you talking about?
No peanuts today.
Yo, that was the worst, bro. I fucking hated it.
Actually, funny. This is a weird shift, but you mentioned Luck. You know, he's still playing up in BC, right?
No, he's about to be at another team right now.
Oh,
At another team.
well, so it's a small world because obviously, you know, I went to Osborne for a year. And that's how I met all y'all.
Yep.
And then I went back to Bama. A dude that graduated from my high school was Nathan Rourke.
Motherfucker.
His QB for like 2 or 3 years, I think. Because he's
You got his
from
number?
no, but Nathan's from Canada.
We need him back.
Well, he's at the Giants now, I think.
Yeah.
I
He's
just
a
thought it was
beast.
like that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like because
That's
he was
crazy.
the QB and his number one wide receiver was Luck
Wait,
in 2 high schools I went to.
he's not Canadian?
No, he is.
Okay.
But he transferred down to Alabama.
Okay.
I went in Alabama. I went to like like a private school, so they
shit.
recruited, and they were like,
Oh,
him and his brother
I
both
didn't
came
know
down. His
that.
brother was good too.
Damn, I
But
thought
he's way younger than us. This was
Yeah,
a few years
yeah.
After me, but I was like,
He's a
I
beast.
told him, I was like, bro, that's just a small world.
that's
Like,
crazy. And he's
the 2 random schools I went
Yeah.
to, a private school in Alabama and then Osborne, like,
yeah.
and now they're both on the same team in Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just wild.
Luck's
That's cool.
workouts look serious.
Yeah.
They look intense. His
Yeah.
feet move so
His
fast.
VO2 max is ridiculous.
What is a VO2?
It's basically how much oxygen you can like intake and utilize while you're working out.
Oh.
That'll hold you back from basically sprinting.
Mm-hmm.
So he has like a big engine. You know what I mean? He can take in a lot of oxygen and process that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ow.
His stretching routine, like, well, okay, now come on.
Hold on a second. Have you been seeing him
I've-
stretching you?
I've seen-
Oh,
I've
because
seen-
you see
yeah.
him at the
I've
gym.
seen
right?
true.
just a
yeah.
couple times.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And like
You learn.
he
you get older- as you get
he
older.
stretches for a long time.
Yeah.
Like crazy. That's good. I mean,
Yeah,
that's arguably one of the most important things you can do anyways. But
It's like we never learned it till we get older, except for Earl.
Well, y'all have talked about that before. I
Mm-hmm.
think it was just y'all's one-on-one podcast when you were talking about it shifts from men and women, where women need to go into weights, men need to
Yes.
go into stretching, yoga, and Pilates.
it's more important for men, to stretch for sure. For sure. Don't do the ego lifting.
When we got to that, when I got to that bay last night before everybody got there, I just sat there and stretched for like a good 15-ish minutes.
Stretching in the bay, top golf.
Yep.
Just
How was that?
people next to you
It was
just looking
fun.
at you like
It was fun.
Sorry we didn't make it.
No, it's fine. It was fine. It was surprisingly like kind of dead
Yeah.
at the time we went. I don't know if we used to go at later times. That joint was kind of washed,
My experience was just I was
but it was perfect.
drunk and young and at a very different point. So I told you.
I think we stayed late. I think we used to stay later though. Like last night, it was 8 to 10. We was gone.
Said Tuesdays. The waiter said Tuesdays are the nights
Why?
because it's half off.
Let's go crazy on.
yeah.
See, I'm not.
Every single Tuesday, she said it's insane.
I'll be home.
Yeah, I think I've been to Top Golf like twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both times has been in Virginia.
It's fun though, man. They
It
thought
is
of
fun.
everything.
It's
they have
bowling for
the
golf.
Industrial size heaters when it's cold. They got the fans for when it's hot. They got bars and food on every single level. They got
Seen the stage over there.
I think they got like
Matter
a
of
Wii
fact, yeah,
downstairs.
just-
they got pool tables. They got a dance floor,
The-
live music.
Yes. Because the last time we all were there, RJ had us go over to the little dance floor and we were doing that dumbass dance that he likes. Remember that dumbass?
Yes.
You remember that, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
I do remember that.
Yes. That was different than last night. They didn't look the same.
Yeah, no. Okay, so maybe when there's live music, maybe more people come. Either way, it was a good night. It was a good night. Good. You know, we mostly all suck at golf as normal. Mikey's good.
Yeah,
the rest of us pretty much suck.
That's pretty good.
But that's not what you go for.
It.
Oh, yeah?
You play baseball.
Yeah. But
See?
I played golf on my middle school team. And then as I got into high school, like, it was baseball, football, basketball. So it's like
baseball translates right into golf, yeah.
But like, it's funny because like I like the aspect of Top Golf, like hanging with like friends, like drinking, getting some food. But I hate Top Golf.
You hate the actual act.
As a golf player,
yes,
I'm not aiming for some hole that's 20 yards in front of me, like
unless
I'm like,
and it's below you.
Yeah, and I have my own clubs and like.
Yeah,
the shape of the course. Like when I go to Top Golf, I just like give me the driver. I'm just going to try to hit the net.
Yeah, I brought my own club. I'm a lefty too, so I brought
but then
my own
you'll
club.
go with people like who don't play golf, like
and
or never played it, and like they'll be top of the leaderboard. I'm
they
like,
will be
right.
Like
they're not real.
Like, I'm like, man, like,
bro,
because he hits it 15 yards and it goes into this hole.
All you gotta do, bro.
Yeah, you're looking at him like, come see me on the course. Like, fuck all this bullshit.
Yeah. You gotta cut the whole shit in half and just.
To me, it's the same equivalent of like those folks who are really good at the arcade basketball.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, okay,
see me on the court, bitch. Yeah.
But not even because they be accidentally good. You know what I mean?
It's like a giant version of that.
Yeah.
And I'm by no means like a great basketball player.
Gotta use your iron.
But I'm better on the court than on that stupid ass game.
Yeah. Just gotta get out there with your iron. Don't use that little fucking tee.
Yeah. I actually played. I was on a date last week and we went bowling. And then we went to the arcade after.
Hey,
and
not bad. Not a bad idea.
I only beat her by like 2 points. And I'm like, fucker.
That's the best, though.
And I'm like...
Yeah, that was good. That's actually probably the best margin.
Hand in a cookie jar. Like
because you didn't let her win, right? Yeah. Which is always good because you don't want to do that. Because like, are you letting me win?
We played 3 games of bowling. She beat me every time.
It's awesome.
It was very embarrassing.
Yeah.
That's
I was
awesome.
pissed.
Nah, it's good.
She was like... minorly talking shit too. I'm like,
Were you visibly pissed?
Not visibly pissed. No, like
internally,
I was just like,
what the
she would like,
what's going on?
Like if I missed like a pin or something, she would like, I'd be walking back and she'd be like, and I'd just be like, shut up. Like,
hey,
so Mo came to my job one day, and he was on a date, and I walked over there. I started talking to both of them. They had come from like a Dave and Buster's or something like that. I think it may have been Dave and Buster's. and he was just whooping her ass and everything.
Mo's great.
And they were talking about it playfully, but like he was in there very competitive. And he was just whooping her. And
that's our fault. That's partially our fault. Remember we used to whoop his ass and just everything. Remember he would come to the house and we would just. You remember how the rules was if you win, you stay on the sticks?
Yeah, of course.
But when Mo came, we switched it. And
it was like, just let
Mo keep playing.
So everybody can just whoop his ass.
Let me get a piece of that.
Loser stays.
Yeah.
How do you know, this is funny because this is something I wanted to talk about. I wanted to ask you guys as well. So clearly you're single and dating.
Yeah.
That's great. All right. So we can have some diversity here.
Okay.
First, how do you all think that you would fare dating now, like starting over? Like, look, he already was fucking exhausted. He's like, fuck that. Well, yeah, because you're in a marriage, you've been married, you probably just like, fuck starting over.
Dude,
like,
man, I've thought about this a little bit just because I'm looking at Brock and I'm looking at, Troy and like other guys that are out there doing their thing. And I'm thinking, man, I don't know if I could do this online dating thing, but that's like where it's all coming from now, and like Bumble and Tinder and all this stuff happened after that was popular and came out after Kelly and I had already started dating.
Right.
So like,
you have no experience on that.
I don't.
Same with me. I don't have none of those.
Yep. Nope. So
you never.
It was all face to face.
Because I was always.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's right. You've always been with someone.
Yeah, so I just.
Yeah. It was always face to face interaction, and like,
and that's what it will continue to be if it if that was the case.
So
Yeah,
the
like-
idea of like getting on those just looks very unfamiliar to you.
Yeah,
and very
it's foreign to me.
Yeah.
But also, I was thinking of like, I have no game now. You know, like I have no game because
You
like
think so?
I haven't had. I mean, I don't want to.
I think the
it's
game.
funny because you think
I think
Just now?
I think
It worked for a little bit, you know.
I told Von Marie about you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I was like, nah, he's never struggled.
Oh,
He's
thank
never
you.
known struggle.
Thank you.
right. So
Yeah.
that's the game. Like you
Yeah.
have game. You just
Yeah, you don't even know it.
You don't even know it. Like it's
Yeah, because I don't think
like-
the game. I think when you get older, you
like
realize
Booty.
it's not
like dude.
it's-
He never had to.
like he
struggle.
never knew struggle.
He was he's the chosen one.
Yeah, he was.
Literally, he was the chosen one, bro.
Yeah, he just stood around,
Yeah.
light skinned with gold chains on and
That's
tattoos.
That's the trick. That's the trick.
Yeah.
That's the trick.
That's
Just be just be you.
But like thinking about like if the conversations that you would have to have and like what you're looking for and like morals and like what you're looking for a partner, right? Like something like that. I haven't had to think about that for a long time. So like try to think about that right now is foreign to me too. You know. So I don't. God bless y'all.
Yeah, yeah.
God bless you. God bless you.
Yeah.
He's-
God bless you.
But he's another one.
but you're having fun, or at least you did last night. You had fun.
Oh, last night.
Yeah. Wait, I'm sorry. You said it was last night?
No,
Or
last weekend.
Last weekend. Last
Yeah,
weekend.
No, we were at the pub last night.
Right.
Yeah.
No, so it's I would say it's different from me, and obviously he knows this. He's my best friend. I tell him everything, but I've like stopped dating for like 6 years. We can get into that later, but I've only recently like gotten back on the apps and like gone on dates the past probably 6 months to a year. And like it's dating nowadays is weird because like one with the my bad. One, like everything's online, everything. And like I live in Tampa, so you would think like you could go out and meet, and you probably still could.
I used to
Tampa
live
got
out in Clearwater.
Tampa a little freaky, isn't it? They got some freak.
hot.
They got some.
It's
They got
hot.
some.
There's
There's some freak
there's
spots
some
on it.
there's,
I heard
but they're
about
freaks.
Tampa.
But by the way, they're freaks everywhere. But
Yeah.
but Florida is
They're freaky out there.
anywhere where it's warm all the time.
Yeah,
There's like a
that
different.
base
There's
side.
just a different mentality.
Yeah.
You know the mentality so that we feel, because I do want to get back to your answer. Like we go through the different seasons, right? So we feel a difference going into fall. Like there's not as much friction in the air. People are not moving as much. It's like things slow down, and then winter they slow down even
Down there,
more.
there's
So then when spring and summer arise, you start seeing people out. You get a new feeling when you walk outside. Like you want to get up and go achieve shit and do things. But if you live in a place where that's just the feeling all the time, yeah, there's just people move differently.
Yeah.
They just move differently. They just do different shit.
Florida mentality.
Yeah.
Florida nigga mentality.
Very, very different.
That's
Again,
why everyone's wild down there. It's just
Yeah.
hot.
it's just different.
It's something about all that sun energy just.
I moved down to
being
Florida, and my
on
very
you.
first night, I stole a car.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
first night.
There's
Like it
something-
was just like, what am I like?
I'm
What is
telling you,
happening?
bro.
What is this? So outside of my character.
telling you,
You don't
bro.
remember? I never told you this story.
Vaguely, I
Yeah.
remember this.
It's
I was
crazy.
21 at the time, so it was a long time ago. But this is when I moved down to Florida for like 6 months, 7 months. So I was on the way down with my dad. We crashed the car, huh?
You were Julian.
Crashed on the way there.
Yeah, crashed on the way there. Totaled my car that I just spent like $1,500 fixing up to go down there so I could live with this car. Crashed that. My brother came, picked us up from where we were, which was like 5 hours from where he was in Florida. Drove us back. And then the very next night, so like my first real day there, we went out to a club and I ended up canoodling with this.
That's a.
I was 21.
That's a word.
Yeah, I don't exactly know what it means, but I had some dealings with an older lady. She was probably in her 40s, South African woman, looked very nice, tight dress. She was out there looking for something. You know what I mean? Cougar-ish sort of vibe, right? Clearly. Before Uber, we take a cab back to her place. We end up having sex. I don't know if I had learned it then when I was at the house or when we were still at the club. I probably didn't care because I was drunk and 21 at the time, but she was absolutely in a marriage.
I didn't know about that part.
The guy was off somewhere, some other state making
That makes
money.
more sense though. I didn't know that part.
Yeah. And then afterwards,
I gotta get the fuck.
I was like, okay, I'm trying to go home. She was like, you can stay. Just sleep over. I was like, I'm definitely not.
You were not about
losing
to close
consciousness
your
in this
eyes
home.
with the possibility of.
It was just unnecessary.
Fucking Derek Jones coming home.
I said, I'm gonna go ahead and go home now.
You don't know what he does for a living.
I'm gonna call a cab. I had no money, so I was not calling a cab. But I did end up just, taking her car keys off the little, ring hanger thing, the front, and I just got in a fucking Jeep and just pulled out and just drove back to my brother's house. Like,
how far was it?
Like it wasn't a big deal that I was just taking someone's car.
20 minutes, 25 minutes.
It was like probably a good 30, 35 minute drive down the Parkway. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. And I just parked the car somewhere because I wasn't planning on this is my car now. I just parked it somewhere. I just needed the way home, and I just left it there. And just walked back to my brother's place.
Oh, they find it.
And he saw me walking in because we went to the place together. The one part I left out of this was that he left the club with a woman. So we both left. He was just like, dude, I think you should just come home with me. Like, it's your first night in Florida. You don't know where you are or what you do. I was like, trust me, man. I'm a man. I'll be fine. And this is what I wanted to go do.
Mentality.
So when I was coming back into the house, the woman he left the club with was leaving. And he was just like, I didn't see a cab out there. Like, how did you get home?
Yo, the fact that he was still on his...
Yeah, he was just like, how'd you get home? And I was like, don't worry about it. We'll talk about it in the morning. And I just went in my room, and then he followed me in the room. He was like, no, how'd you get home? And I was like,
see that?
Remember that woman?
Yeah.
I guess I stole her car. And he was just like, okay, put your shit back on. We're going to wherever the fuck you left the car. We're driving it back.
That's hilarious.
And
you put the keys back, everything.
Yeah, we went back there, drove 35 minutes back across town, and I just left the car there. And we got back in his car, left, and then that was that.
She was asleep this whole time? Oh my goodness.
Never knew.
Yeah, never knew anything. Never heard from anything. Yeah. Yeah, so that was my very first night there. Florida, just something happens to you is my point. Okay, back to your answer about dating.
Yeah. So like I said, I took like 6 years off. But like getting back into it now, and like, I guess I kind of have to explain why I took off to like explain now. Like I was in
the game
4 probably serious relationships in like from the time I was 18 till 2019. And 2 of them I got cheated on both times while I was deployed. So it's like, sucks to get cheated on.
God,
also sucks when you're 7,000 miles away. But I was telling myself, like, okay, well, the girl that cheated on me in my first deployment, I was in Afghanistan. Like, she was like 20. And so she was young. I was like, okay, like, she's young. She doesn't know. Like, that's what I was telling myself. When in reality, like, it's kind of fucked up. But, and then because of that, all this happened too. And my mom and dad got split. My mom was cheating on my dad. And he knows, me and my dad are like, he's my stepdad technically, but I have his last name. Like, we're like that. So like subconsciously, because of the 2 being cheated on twice and my mom, I had this like, I just wasn't trusting anybody.
Yeah, that's very natural.
So so then I got into another relationship in around 2015, and it was probably about a year long, and treated her like shit. Not like hitting her or anything, not like domestically treating her like shit. Just get that out there. But where the fuck are you? Like, why aren't you fucking awake? Like, I'm in Harrisonburg. Wake up. Where the fuck are you? Like, that type of shit. And I was like, it was an eye opener. I was like, damn, like she's not doing anything wrong. It's me. Like, and then I like didn't date for a little while, and then I was in another relationship in Alabama where we were dating for a couple months. She was single. Yeah. So it was like, all right. Then I was like, I'm fucking done with this. Like, I need to, because like now subconsciously, I'm not trusting someone I've never met because of someone in the past did. So now, like 6 months, a year ago, I was like, okay, like I'm 32 now. I'm 33. Like now I'm like back, like, but I'm dating, but with like intention. Like, I'm not gonna waste my time. Like, I'm one of those, like, I can tell first date if I'm gonna continue or not. So I had a couple first dates, like yeah. The girl I went bowling with, that was our third date. I think second, but first date was the week before. Talked the whole time since then. I mean, it's nothing serious or anything like that, but it's like I'm starting to notice the changes that I've made to where like she'll be like, hey, I'm going to dinner. I'll text you after. And I'm like, all right, cool. Yeah. Whereas in 7-8 years ago, I'd be like, why the fuck can't you talk?
Yeah.
Like, who are you going to dinner with?
Yeah.
To where now it's like, all right, like I don't have to be texting her nonstop.
Progress.
Like, and again, she's going to listen to this. Nothing serious. Like we're just taking it how it goes. But I've noticed that change in me, which is huge. But to answer how is dating now, it's a fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
Like not with her.
Yeah. Not
like,
this particular person, but just in
it's
general.
Like it's so like it's weird because I'm old school. Like first date, like I want to pick you up. I'm bringing flowers. I'm paying for everything. That's just how I am. And so like people, and I guess it's a testament to like the world we live in now. Like a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want you to know where I live on the first date. And I'm like,
that's very true.
Now I understand. I'm like, okay, that makes sense.
Wow.
And like they'll go somewhere and like maybe have you pick them up from that place, or they'll meet you somewhere. Yeah.
And so like,
yeah,
as much as I'm like, well, that's just how I am. Like, but I'm like, now I'm like, okay, like I understand. Like, I'll meet you there. Like, not a big deal. But I think also, and what I was getting at with how the world is now, it's so like. Everyone's got difference of opinion, but it's so dramatic nowadays. Like, if there's one thing y'all don't agree with, there's like, nah, it's over.
Yeah.
Like, there's no like working through that. Like,
yeah. I know
even things like your wife Kelly, like she's a vegetarian. Like nowadays, like guys would be like, oh yeah, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
Like, why does that bother you?
Yeah, or she would disapprove of
or like
eating meat and be like, oh no, fuck out of here.
Yeah, which was never a problem.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying it was. I'm just saying like that's an example. Like nowadays, like a lot of people are like, no, I'm good.
Right.
Yeah.
They don't want.
There's not a lot of
difficulty.
room for compromise,
and that's perpetuated by social media, like big time. Just because everybody's hearing so many things from different angles, from different platforms and everything. It's like, it's like messing with your mindset.
So it's funny that every time you and I get together, this name pops up. But Willie sent me a screenshot the other day, and the the text that came along with it was, "This is dating nowadays." And I look at the screenshot, and I don't know what app he's on, but clearly the question of what are you doing on here had just come up, and clearly he had said something about long term, like he's looking for something long term. And the response he got from the chick was like, "Oh, if by long term she said something like, oh, I'm a passenger princess. So if you mean by long term you mean fun, annoying passenger princess, that likes to eat or something like that." It was just something kind of playful, but also saying annoying in it, which was interesting. Then I'm your girl. And he was like, annoying doesn't seem too peaceful.
Chaos, something like that.
Yeah, he was like, so annoying doesn't seem very peaceful. And she was like, I don't remember seeing anything about peacefulness in your profile. And he was like, oh, I'll have to make an amendment. And then she said, yeah, that would be really nice. That way you could clear the air and maybe we could save some time. I'm trying to be someone's chaos.
Yeah, that was it.
And that was the screenshot. And I was just like, what am I reading?
Yeah.
What is this? What do you mean put something in my profile about the fact that I want to live a peaceful life? What are we talking about?
Yeah.
Like, what are you telling me? Because this is kind of your point. Like, what are you saying that I need to specify? Like, what?
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah.
Like, what else do I have to put in my profile so that I would just like to just not live in hell? What do you mean?
There's also like no figuring something out though. Like everything has to be at face value immediately in order for you to get to know somebody and like be comfortable right away. Whereas like old school back in the day, is, for lack of a better word, simpler. But like you go on dates with people, you go and figure them out.
You
like they
talk
figure
to
you out.
them.
You talk to them.
You meet
You
them.
understand
Right.
what
Meet
maybe
them.
you wanting to live a peaceful
Right.
life means. Maybe you understand what like being someone's chaos means. Because maybe you're just like trying to be funny.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because what do
Right.
you mean
'Cause
you're trying to be
it's hard
like?
to
What are
catch
you saying?
context over text.
Yeah, exactly.
And
So,
tone, you know. what I mean?
but those
Yeah,
two,
yeah, it's
It's
stupid
hard. Unless
stuff,
you know
yeah.
the person, you don't really know the tone.
but those two
Yeah.
people are not going to have a date now because of this disagreement of chaos and peace.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's like it's just like
and
a
that's
weird,
why, for me, even going back like 10+ years, it's always been like an in-person thing. Like I
Yeah.
just live
Yep.
my life, and then
Yeah.
if somebody comes along, oh, bet, then I rock with it from
Yeah,
there.
and you make a decision. If,
Yeah.
like, do I want to spend more time with this person?
Oh, this
Make
is the
it long
person.
term, then make that
this is the
decision.
person who I would text.
yeah,
I wouldn't text you for it. Oh, this is the person who I'd hang out with.
yeah,
You know, I think
yeah.
it became backwards, kind of.
Yeah.
You know,
And so on the flip side, I think that I can understand why people would want things more in front of their face to begin with, because I'll use this as a perfect example. So growing up in a Christian household and being around people of like that mindset, the idea was you meet somebody, you date for a little bit, and then like you get married. But then the motivation for getting married at such a young age very quickly was to have sex, you know? Because like if you're of like a particular religion, and I'm not saying this is only for Christianity, it's like for a whole bunch of other people too, and their morals. But like, you know, you want to practice abstinence so that you don't like, you know, sacrifice, you know, jeopardize your morals, but you just want to get the sex out of the way. But then when you rush into something like that, then you really figure out who this person is. And I know of a couple people who have like dated like very briefly, got married, did their thing, and then they ended up divorcing because they're like, this person's a piece of shit, you
Yes.
know? So on the flip side, I can understand why people want to have that more in front of their face so that they know what they're getting into and if it's a waste of time or not. But it's complicated. It's complicated.
To that point on the Christian households, like practicing abstinence, I'm pivoting to a date I went on a few months back, and it was like matched with her on one of the apps, and like I treat the apps like a joke. I'll get into that later, but the matched on it, and it was what's the one the girl has to say something? Bumble.
Yeah.
And which is different now because now they have prompts to where both people have to answer. So you don't have to message first. I'm like, what the fuck's the point of this? But anyway, matched with her that day. It was like 2 p.m. I was like on the way home from work, and she was like, hey, I'm going to watch the hockey game at this place in Tampa that's like open. We've been there. I can't
American
remember.
Social.
Yeah. And she was like, you want to go? Like all my friends bailed. And I'm like, yeah, sure. I'm like, I'll meet you down there. Go out, have a couple drinks. She has a couple more than I did. And I'm like, hey, like, I'm fine. Like, I've had 2 drinks maybe. I was like, do you want me to drive you home? She's like, yeah, sure. And we stop at another bar by her place. So she knows the bartender. She has a couple more drinks. I finally drop her off, and she's like, you're not going to walk me up? And I'm like, okay. Like, because I'm not the one that's like, oh, I'll walk you up. Like, if you want me to walk you up, I will.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, walk her up. She lets her dog out. She's very, like, you can tell she is not in a frame of mind. And so instantly I'm like, yeah, I'm going home.
Nope,
Like,
I'm not.
And
I'm not kissing her.
I let her.
I'm not kissing her.
I let her like bring her dog back in,
Ooh.
and she's like, and I like still have my shoes on. She's like, are you leaving? I was like, yeah, I'm gonna head home. Like it's late. Like it was like 3 a.m. on like a Wednesday. Like, I have to work. Like,
Oh my gosh.
and I leave, and then like I don't hear from her the next day, and so like later the next day that afternoon, I'm like, hey, everything okay? She's like, no one says no to me on the first night. I was like,
She was mad at that, or she liked that?
all right, huh?
Did she like that, or was she mad at that?
She was mad.
She was mad
Or
at
it's
it.
not the first night. She said, no one turns me down. And I was like, okay. Like, I was,
Oh.
one, being respectful
Yeah.
because you are hammered.
Yeah.
2, I'm not trying to wake up to the police knocking in and
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
a charge.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, all right. And then that's just,
that's
that's dating now. Like, that's
Yeah.
another example. It's just like,
yes.
you know?
A lot of people are just not.
had
They're
a-
just not ready for
I just
it.
had an epiphany though, Loki. What if the apps are purposely like linking you with people who they know it's not going to work with? Because if they link you with somebody who it works with, then they lose users.
Now that's
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like
Because why would I have my users be
I would say that
be
for
happy?
But it's more of just like a radius
It's like
thing,
drugs,
though,
so I want
correct?
you coming back.
Yeah, but they don't match you. If you did like a Match.com, that would
But
make
it,
sense.
the app
It's just like they wanna
decides
show
who
their
you see,
success
though.
rate.
But the app does decide who you see, right?
It does, but
it
it's like a radius thing.
But it could probably
I see what you're getting at.
it could
'cause,
probably
but
look
you
at
think even
past
within that-
matches.
on
They
the-
probably have that data of past matches.
on some of them, like I've noticed too, since I've gotten back on them, like if there's a particular like look that I'm swiping right on a lot, I see more of that. And then like, I have noticed.
Yeah,
That's
because
really
it's like
messed up.
if you're back on the app, they're like, bet we got him on it, got a date, now he's back, quick fix.
Yeah, they also try to get you to pay too, because
Yeah.
like if you ever like pay for it, like the premium or whatever, you can see who's liked you and all that.
Yeah.
But then when it goes away, like you'll have months where you don't get anyone that like likes you first.
Right.
Then you're like, I don't need to pay for this shit. You stop paying for it, and then it's like, oh, 4 people liked you.
See, they're lying.
Yeah,
They're
that is
lying.
true. Yeah, that is.
They're lying.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
they're
right,
lying.
right.
But you
People
can't
are
see 'em
people
until
are
you pay
liking
for
you, and they're just lying. Yeah.
And they won't pop up on your free swipes.
Yeah.
It'll be
Right.
like, oh, you're out of swipes.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, okay, I see what's going on.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
But I treat like
See?
treating them like a joke. Like, so I have like the big 3. I have Tinder, Bumble, and Hinge. Hinge is the newer one. That's the one I'm probably most active on.
I did Hinge. That was nice.
And I say I'm most active on. I'm also old school in the fact that where I've gone on 2 dates with this one girl, like I'm not going on dates with anyone else. Like not that we're exclusive or anything like that. Because she's gonna
Right.
watch this, but like that's just how I am. Like, and
It also just takes a lot.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
when-
yeah,
you know
right.
what I mean? Like, people talk about rosters and be
Yeah.
like, oh, yeah, I got 5 on my. Like, when you're just like
Yeah.
hanging out with 5, especially as an adult, like, you got other things to
Yeah.
do probably.
Bro,
and then you're trying
I have work. I'm in school again. Like I play Call of Duty. Like I'm busy.
Yeah.
Do shit.
Hey, that new joke coming out with hey, that new backup.
I'm
yeah.
worried about why my
That
GPU
new
temperature is
black
going
up.
up. Like what's going on? Like, but like my like profile like descriptions are like jokes. Like on Tinder, like it says, without the beard, I look like a fat 12-year-old.
Yeah.
And then like Bumble says like your abuelita will love me. And then like which you get.
I know.
Yeah,
Yeah, I get that too. Yeah,
And
yeah.
then what's
I
funny
believe
is
that.
like on how me and her matched and the thing she liked on my profile, because I liked her picture first. And one of my first, like on Hinge, you can have prompts where it's like, I go crazy for, and you fill it out. My
Right.
favorite food is whatever. And I changed it because of a guy we work with who's like 22. He had it on his, and I thought it was funny. But it says, I go crazy for, and I put girls on Lexapro, which is an antidepressant.
Oh my God.
Clearly it's a joke.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Yes,
funny.
Yes.
And like her response to me, like the conversation starter was,
The grippy stuff.
like, I'm not on Lexapro. I hope that's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's a good thing or something like that.
Right, right.
I was
See-
like, it's
see,
totally fine.
playing
And
around
that's
with
where
this.
this-
Yeah.
And
Cool.
that wit. So Brock's always had the wit, right? And like that's always been one of his strongest, like biggest strong suits of like women like that. And so that's perfect. That's great. Like
But like,
You got to play to your strengths.
yeah. And it was just like
You got to play to your strengths.
it was just like really kinetic. Like, because like she said that, and I was like, it's totally like that's
just
fine.
messing,
Like,
just messing.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then like we got into like, what do you do? And she's like, what do you do? And like I was like, short version, I do this. And she was like, when can I hear the long version? I was like, how about dinner Friday night? And then boom.
Yeah.
Like,
that
it
was
was
well
just
done.
really like, it wasn't the whole like,
Man.
oh, like what are you looking for? Like obviously
like
we've
you
talked
do,
about
dog.
that, but
Let's
like
get married,
in
man.
person, like it's not the whole drawn out like.
Yeah, you're
It was
trying
literally it was like in a 2-day span, like, and we weren't responding like real quick because we both have jobs.
You're
Like,
both using the app the same way.
yeah,
Yeah. But
Yeah, and
That's a
then
bet.
yeah, and then I also understand like women wanting that long drawn out thing, even though it
Yes.
fucking sucks to do because they probably haven't or know someone that's just been in some weird ass situation with some
Yeah.
weird ass fucking dude.
Yeah, bro,
You
it's
know,
also,
what
I mean, I do it too. Like if I
Yeah.
plan a date with someone,
yeah, you
I
gotta
mean,
be
I'm
careful.
like my job. I'm an intelligence analyst. I will find that person online. Like,
Oh yeah.
like and I told her straight up. I found her LinkedIn. I found her Instagram. I found her Facebook. Not creeping, just making sure you're an actual real
Yeah,
fucking
I'm just
person.
making sure that I'm
And
not
she was
about to
like,
get robbed.
catfish.
Yeah.
And she was like, I did the
Yeah,
same
'cause
thing.
they
Like,
use the apps are being used through women profiles to rob guys too. Like it's happening.
There's like this commercial I saw yesterday watching Hulu that Tinder has this new feature called like I forgot what it's called. But it's like Tinder or date details that allows them to communicate with other people whilst they're on the date, just to
make sure that they're safe.
Make sure they're safe. Kind of like
texting.
Yep.
Yes, that's what I was saying. I was just like,
I don't need that.
This just sounds like you.
Hey, I'll just text you. Hey, I'm about to walk in the restaurant.
Yeah, I didn't.
You have my location live.
I didn't quite get that.
Yeah,
it's funny.
Yeah,
but I mean, to me, the dating apps, I'm not against them, but I look at them kind of funny because I look at it like, if I was trying to make a regular friend, like where would I go to make a friend? You know what I mean?
They have those too. They have like Bumble Friends.
Right.
Like you can go on apps.
Doesn't that feel kind of weird though?
Yeah. I mean, for me,
right? So it's like,
but if you're someone that like didn't grow up with a bunch of friends the way that we did, right?
Right.
Like, what would you do if you were 30 years old, 35 years old, and you didn't grow up with a bunch of friends? Like maybe you moved to a new town. Like, what would you do to garner friends? Just live, just go to work. Be out places.
Start with work at least. You know, and like try to. I mean, Brock's a testament to that. That's exactly what he was doing.
But then, what if you feel like the people at work you don't want to hang out with?
That's cool.
I don't hang out with them.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
But there are platforms that use that shit like mixed with AI that are like on it, but it costs a lot of money because they're looking for one-time customers. They're gonna get their money out of you, but they're gonna get you matched with somebody who's on the same type of time you are.
But then that goes back to like good old fashioned human authenticity, right? Like, what are your interests? Cars. You go to a car meet, you know, and then like you're with people in person. Then you start to develop a rapport and like relationship with these people, right? Again, work, regardless if you like them or not.
That's why I get what he was saying. Like he treats them like he knows how to use that.
Yeah.
He uses them for what they're for. Like
yeah.
But yeah, when I moved down to Tampa, like I didn't know anyone. My grandparents live like in the villages, like an hour and a half north, but with every other old person in the United States. But that place is huge. But like but I'm also, it's different for me, and I honestly it's probably different for us because we're all social.
Right.
Where it would be really hard is like the introverts or
the people who when you go out they're not.
It can be very, very tough to like read the room. So like if you're at some of these events, like maybe you go to the gym, you're at a fucking yoga studio, or you're at a car meet you're talking about, you don't always know. I think these social media apps help you cut through certain etiquette that you may be breaking if you go to certain places and you don't know. Like you're at the grocery store, you see someone, you're like, man, I like to talk to him over there by the bell peppers, but is it okay for me to walk up on a lady by the bell peppers and start talking to her?
People don't have that skill like, to know whether or not that's funny.
That's what I'm saying. So instead of like having to break down if this is socially acceptable at this point in time, I'm at the gym, like, okay, she's working out. I like her. I've seen her in here for 3 months now. Should I say something to her? She's exercising. Is it okay for me to walk up to her while she's at the squat rack and go talk to her?
There's a skill that's been lost.
But if she's on this app, she's on this app.
Like the picture we saw. Remember that shit dude was like, yo, look at this girl. Dude was at the mall and he saw like a girl that he like was attracted to. And instead of
did the flip camera?
So instead of going to talk to her, he like videoed her.
He videoed her and asked like his followers to find her.
Yeah, I've seen that thing. Like find this person.
Find her. Like she was like right there. It was like, bro,
you found her.
Yeah, you can. But
you found her. She's there.
But
you asking other people to find her.
See, we were lucky. We came up like right before it, so we use it as a tool.
Yeah,
I saw the one I'm thinking of is I saw a guy. He went into a store, like a girl's clothing store, and someone that worked there was interested in. And he was like, I'm trying to find something for my girlfriend. Like, I don't know if it'll match like her type. And he was like, I'll just show you what she looks like. And he opened his iPhone and flipped the camera to face him and then put it on her. And she like laughed. Like, I thought you were talking about that. But that skill is different. It's different. Being able to talk to people like that you've never met is definitely a skill
that we were lucky to come up with because we grew up like with social media shit as a tool.
Yeah.
It wasn't just always there.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just the thing that you use to meet people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I also think too, like not only the skill to like approach people, but the skill to be approachable is also been lost.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's been times where like you could be making eye contact with someone and you're like, okay, like I should go talk to this person. And you talk to them, they're like, oh, I'm good. I have a boyfriend or whatever. And you're like, oh, okay, I did not read that right.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
It's just it's weird now. Like it's that mix of like everything's on an app. Like no one's like people are social, but then if someone who's social approaches someone that's not as social, it's weird.
Yeah, well, there's just there's just a lot going on in people's heads. Nowadays. And so people are, I just had a friend tell me the other day they wanted to get back into dating, but they just didn't feel like they were ready for intimacy, really. Like they just not emotionally available is really what we ended up getting down to because they don't know how, because in order to like successfully be around someone and make a strong connection, you'd have to really be interested in another person. You'd have to be able to like get out of your head enough to like ask them questions, actively listen to what they say, appropriately respond, and like just rinse and repeat, just like, you know, doing that thing. But there are a lot of people that are just like in their heads, super anxious. They got a lot of shit going on. So it's very difficult to move that out of the way to allow enough time and space to really get to know someone. Because when I talk to people about it, it seems like a chore. Like the way that you guys just like, fuck, like I got to go out and ask you. Like people want to skip that. Like people like to skip a lot of the work and things and just get good at something. It's just like, I just want to be at the comfortable stage where we just like lay up and watch Netflix. I'm like, you know, you got to do things to get to that point, right? You got to learn about that person. You got to get comfortable with them.
Like fitness shit. Like people will ask you shit and I'm like, bro, that shit not easy. That shit sucks. It's not fun.
See, I don't think that people do things for a long period of time unless it is some sort of fun for them. I think that you have to, like, in order for something to be sustainable, you have to find something fun about it. Unless you're extremely disciplined human that will just do something that sucks every single day. So you got to be like either or. And I just don't think people think dating is fun at all. Like they're just like, I got to go out and like learn about you. And like learning about someone sucks for a lot of people. Like it's not a fun thing to do. And if the process sucks to you, you're not gonna want to do it. You're like, the outcome seems really cool for a lot of people that have done that, but like I don't want to have to go through that.
There's steps, like you were saying, they're being skipped. It's like to me, it's like just trying to make a friend. Like, how am I gonna make a friend that play me in Madden? Hey, nigga, do you like Madden? Like, I'm not gonna walk around and do that. Like, I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm just gonna walk around and just live life. Like, oh shit, what's good, bro? Like, oh shit, you play Madden too? Shit, add me on PlayStation. It's just a conversation.
Organic.
Slowly. You just meet a human and just talk. You know what I mean?
I will say though, like to the comment of like dating sucks or like meeting new people sucks. Like for the past like whatever 6-12 months that I've been like back dating again, like. When you like with me being the guy that knows yes or no, like if I'm going to continue this first time, when you know you're not going to, which has been the most common case the past year, that sucks. But when you finally like have a date and y'all hit it off and you're like, okay, this like I'm comfortable with this person and like you plan dinner and drinks if we're still, and then you actually do go get drinks, like it's still going, like you're like, okay, like I like this. And you don't like that. You just like that person. You like that connection that you have.
There's something rewarding about the work that you put into it. You know, like, I mean, that's
reps.
Just, exactly.
Reps, bro.
Yeah.
Playing the game. Getting reps up, bro.
Yeah.
Like last night, like I saw that shit happening before y'all even got there. Like I saw how that shit was going to play out. Is she going to do the pod?
Oh, the server. So this is what it was. So I walked over to the server to ask her about her experience at Topgolf and if she had seen like a fluctuation in traffic like throughout her time. So I was asking her about Topgolf. And then in that conversation, she started talking about how much she loves working there because she gets to talk to people and she really, really loves human engagement and like learning about people and conversation and all this sort of stuff. And I was like, I'm
telling you, bro.
Well, now that you said that, like I wasn't planning on
I'm telling you,
asking you, but if you go and you look up this podcast and you enjoy what you see, you can hit me up and come on.
She fucked with us before we were all there. I mean, I'm not even talking shit, but based off of how I was interacting, and I could tell, I was like, she was like, oh, he's
fun.
cool. Like, and
It's nice when you're a service professional and you get people that don't cause problems for because it doesn't even have to be. You got to be awesome.
There's people who are trying to help you do what you're doing right now and just not make you do more work than what you're doing.
Yes,
right. She fucked with us way before, and then when you were asking about that, I was like, I knew in my head, I was like, he's gonna talk about the pod before the end of the night. I already know. I know what's getting ready to happen. You haven't been there since 2018. You want to know what the atmosphere is like.
Yeah, and it just flowed that way. It just
flowed, and it was.
And had she not said those things, I probably wouldn't have.
And I was telling about Maria, I was like, "Yo, I got hear you talk about when that happens, like on the pod with somebody. Right. This is my first time, like getting to watch
in the field,
getting to watch it like start to finish. Like, oh shit! And then if I hear a pod, I'm like, yo, that was tough. Like I got to see that shit happen.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I've definitely met a lot of people. Just
I
very
got to watch that shit. Oh,
yeah. I asked people. A lot of the hostesses at my job, hostesses, a lot of like a question of the day because it's got a lot of interesting answers from people.
Where do you get it from?
Sometimes I just pull, out of my old bag. Like I'll ask people if your favorite color was like a person or something. Like give me like 3 adjectives to describe it, and they always think that I'm just trying to guess the color. That's always the thing that throws them off. They think I'm trying to, and I'm gonna try to guess the color, but it's not at all the point of the question.
Describing yourself.
So I'll do that. Yeah, I'll do that. Sometimes just something I don't know just will pop up. Like the other day, I asked, and this is good for us because we've had enough life now to live. Your 18-year-old self, I guess we'll say, what do you think would surprise your 18-year-old self most about who you are now, if anything? Because maybe you just be like, nah, I'm pretty much who I thought I was going to be. Maybe that's your take on it. But if not, is there anything in particular you feel like you'd be like, wow, like, really? Or like, any connotation of...
That's an open question.
Yeah, open question.
Is it me talking to him, or is it him looking at like him having like a
like he has a view and he gets to like see who you are and what you're doing and all that, and just be like, oh, that's me.
Let me think. It's weird because you're not the same person.
Yeah,
you're not at all.
But you still have your core qualities, that like still make you, and that's what I don't know.
I know my answer. Is this for us?
Go for it.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I would say it would be most shocked at where my relationship with my mom has gone.
Yeah, that's huge, man.
Because in high school, me and my mom were.
Yeah.
At least I thought we were.
You could have never seen it. Yeah.
Okay.
I had a relationship like that with like Henry. There was a point in time you could have asked me. I'd have been like, "Oh, we're gonna be friends for the rest of our lives."
Yeah.
Also very, very young.
Right.
But I would have easily said that.
You just don't know how adult
I'd have been like, "There's
work.
no way that we'll not be friends."
Yeah. But you're not friends. There's a difference. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But did you really think y'all gonna be hanging out every day? And like, you know what I mean?
I have not seen that nigga in like 8 years. What are you talking about?
Bro, but that's
what are you talking about hanging out every day? I haven't seen this nigga in like a decade. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but that's also, just getting older. They being adults.
There's a little bit of that.
But also knowing Henry, like, you can kind of project that. Because remember, we would drop him off not at his house.
Yeah.
See, as you get older,
Oh, what's your answer?
I'm still thinking.
Oh, you got one?
What would surprise me most?
So I think I'm gonna piggyback off a little bit of Brock's point, but for me, I've always cherished my relationships with every single person.
Yeah.
I've always loved being like, I've tried to be popular. I've tried to be like get along with everybody. I've always taken pride of myself in doing that, and so I've always thought the same friends that I'm gonna have now I'm still gonna be like just as close to them later on, but I'll have more, just because that's how I like to paint myself, right? But that has definitely not been the case. The circle has gotten so small, so very small, and I'm fine with that because Like people change, and you don't necessarily agree with like what they are doing nowadays, or like how they think or how they feel or whatever. But also, you just don't have time for it. Like I've got other stuff that I have to do, and that reality like set in really, really big. Like over the past like several years of like, y'all are doing your own thing. I'm happy for you. That's great. I'm doing my own thing. Like it's all good. So I mean, it's not a very strong one, but that was a reality hit for me because I was like, why don't I ever talk to this person anymore, or like this group of people anymore? And it's like,
yeah, just
we got lives. Like it's all good.
Yeah.
It's all good.
I think what would surprise me the most is me, if I could say something, saying that I'm not at my peak. Because I'm pretty sure me at 18 thought that like,
that's a good one.
Thought that me right now would be like the ultimate me, but I know, I know. I'm not.
I was, for sure. I think, as technology continues on and we just learn more about humans.
Yeah,
like the number, like the age is changing with the way people look.
I thought it was this.
Like, I mean, hundreds and hundreds of years ago, people were just dying at 40. Just regularly.
You
like
look
that's
at
just
somebody in high school in like the 70s.
Yeah, like
God damn. All right. Hey, the picture the motherfucker I be sending, I be working with now. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, well, you just like
no, wait, don't even say how old he is.
No, I wasn't gonna say that. Okay. I was just gonna say the beverage.
Yeah.
You just drink
at
least one Coke or just many Cokes a day.
It's just
constant Coke,
bro.
Just
it's soda,
Coke, just soda, just constantly.
Soda.
No water. You've never seen him with water.
I haven't seen him use the bathroom.
Oh no!
All right, this is crazy to me.
Okay, a lot of natural
I'm
things
like,
that are going on.
Diaper, bro.
Yeah, they're really selling these Depends to the younger crowds as well.
I believe it.
You know what I mean? But there's some instances in which. It's just practical. You're going on a long road trip. Maybe you want to throw on some Depends. You don't want to always stop off at the nearest
how old do you think
rest stop.
How old do you think he is? We're going to put this little pic to the side.
Oh, yeah.
45?
Oh, that's so funny.
Oh, bro. Yeah, he's pushing 50.
Yeah. Hold on, wait a minute, because I didn't look long enough to. I don't know the age. I didn't. I missed that part.
How old do you think he is?
Oh wow, yeah. I'd say, yeah. 47, anywhere between like 42, 47. Okay. Anywhere in that 5-year gap.
He turns 31 in October.
No way, bro. No.
Yeah. So. Like I was okay, so like
everybody feels a lot better right now, right? Motherfuckers out here looking like that.
So what I was saying this to Vaughn.
Tyler is like,
I think
take care of yourself, bud. Well, take better care of yourself, man.
Okay,
he's upset.
I'm upset.
He's really upset. Bro,
but you look distraught.
He's upset like we grew up with.
Like, you don't know him. It's okay,
bro. But that's how I feel because I'm like, bro, like stop drinking. Just go. I be wanting to just knock the Coke down.
Nah, some
water,
people
bro.
Just,
please.
Nah. See dip?
Nah.
No,
I work in the.
Like you dip?
Yeah, no.
I work in the industry, man. Like the way people eat and drink, it's wild, like, especially the sodas. I've definitely been around and just keep dropping soda off. Sweet tea, soda, and that's all like an entire family will drink.
Sugar.
Is just Coca-Cola, just Sprite.
It's just clogged.
And that's what like I've seen. Because I bartended in.
That's right.
Oh yeah, so
2016 through like 19 around that time frame in like a college town, but the bar I bartended at was in more of the towny area, the local. No one says towny down south, so it's weird to say it again. But y'all know what townies are. And
what do they say? Is there like town for
just locals?
Just local.
Locals.
Rednecks.
Yeah, that's much nicer.
But we were like the bar that the service industry folks went to when they got off too. We were like that bar. And like I drank a good amount in college. Like I drank a lot when I went up and visited JMU. Like I drank, and then watching other people drink, I'm like, damn, I don't drink like that.
Yeah,
like, God, like coming in at like 3:30 when you get off work early and instant rumple, and then like Bud Light, Bud Light, Bud Light, Bud Light, and then you switch to like Jack and you're like rumples every like third beer. I'm like I like rumple.
What is rumple?
Rumplemans?
Oh, bro, we had a shot of this last night.
Oh yeah, no,
Last night
it's like the clear and black.
He looked at me last night and he goes,
It's like
I'm gonna
that.
throw up.
It's like in the same category as the aftershock.
So it's like a liqueur.
but it's not.
But it's
pepper.
Literally,
strong.
it tastes like mouthwash.
But
Yeah.
it does. But it's strong. It's like 100
strong.
proof, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah, it's
Oh my
strong.
God.
It's strong. Yeah, man.
It's like
that's,
my go-to, like, what shot's going to piss everyone off that I can handle? Because I can't shoot, like, straight liquor. I can't shoot whiskey. I love whiskey, but I can't shoot it.
But
Yeah.
So,
good
like,
bourbon, good whiskey.
I can sip. I can sip it all day. I love whiskey.
Right.
And
But I
that's
can't, like, I don't, it's
your
just
body,
too much.
your body's just like nah.
And I hate tequila, which is everyone's go-to. Like,
yeah.
I don't
Now
like
see,
tequila.
that's the only thing that I can take shots of now is just
But
like
every
tequila, no
time,
problem.
I'll just, like, look over the bartender. I'll be like, she's like,
Have you had any mezcal?
That was the thing from
Yeah,
last
yeah,
night.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's good, man.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
I do
Like-
miss. Y'all had talked about.
Oh
it
yeah, I
before.
just
miss
wonder like
aftershock.
if you would like that because I know you don't like tequila, but I wonder if you would like mezcal. Like, do you like smoky things?
I like. So I don't like shots as like
Right.
period.
Yeah.
Except for Rumple.
Yeah, and I'll do Fireball, and I'll do. I say that now. I'm listing off
It's
shots.
funny.
I don't like
Yeah.
straight shots of anything,
Right.
unless it's like a mixture of like Rumple's a mix
Yeah.
of different things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fireball's a mix of cinnamon and
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
like I like baby bombs, which that's what they're called in Alabama. Like it's a
Baby bomb.
mini Jaeger bomb.
Oh yeah. Okay. So
Baby
you're
bomb.
about like
Baby
little
bomb.
shooters and
Yeah,
stuff
mixed
like
stuff.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Baby
Yeah.
bomb.
Like but I also won't do a Jaeger bomb. Like it's just too much. But a
That
baby
is
bomb,
large as hell.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So when you think about some of these things later on, like a Jaeger bomb is wild.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's just a lot.
It's like a massive amount of negative with a massive amount of positive.
Positive,
Like, that's not good.
But like,
It's not good for you.
It's
Yeah.
different because like the goal back then though was just to get
Yeah.
fucking turned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that was the
keep
goal.
going. And keep
Turn
going.
off
Yep.
the what is it? The prefrontal cortex. Turn
Yeah.
that shit off.
But you know what? A lot of people kind of frowned at. I used to do Adderall and smoke weed, and people were just like, "That doesn't sound like a fun time. Like, why would you do that?" I thought it was perfect because I felt like you would have that focus, but then you would just kind of
like
take the edge
teeter
right
each other.
off, so
Yeah.
then you can just like relax, but with that focus.
Yeah.
You're not like as jumpy, and,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, jittery. Because I used to take a lot.
Yeah. Big
Yeah,
teeter.
back in those
I
days,
was
like-
crying at that story.
Which one? Like,
the RJ Carr story.
oh yeah, no, yeah, I used to steal Adderall from RJ. It got to a point. It got to a bad point. Like
But it's hilarious.
I was like breaking in the back of his car.
You would be really good at being a fiend.
Yeah, it was.
You'd be way too good at being a fiend.
Yeah, no. When you do certain things, I think maybe when I was younger, I had much more of a judgmental view about addicts. Probably, I'm not certain. But I know that I started to understand them far more as I got older and started doing different things. Just I got like dental work done, and they gave me Tylenol 4, which has codeine
You
in
were
it.
like,
And I remember taking that, just saying, "Oh, it's Tylenol." You know what I mean? And then you just all the pain is gone, and you
crazy.
just feel
feel
light.
good.
You just like,
It was the-
oh
yeah.
my god!
It was the opposite for me with like Percocet. When I had it for my knee, I did not like it.
See,
That's how, same.
man.
I did not
They
like
gave
that
me
shit.
Lortab when I broke my
Uh-huh,
arm
Lortab,
in 11th grade,
Professor.
and like I hated how like I was like angry when I was on it.
Itchy.
I was like yelling at my mom like I want a fucking Coke,
Yeah.
and like she was like, "You're not doing this shit no more."
Yeah, she was
that's
like,
right.
Yeah, mom, bitch. Fuck out of here, man.
Dude, I was
who's acting?
Mike Epps. Yeah, you fucking out of here, man.
there was
You
there's,
fucking dead,
a-
mom, bitch.
there's a story my mom tells about when I was all drugged up after, and I was like, we obviously
Yeah.
don't have a great relationship anymore, but I was post surgery, so I'm like on the shit, like I'm
Oh, it was for
loopy, and I'm like just got out of surgery. I'm still at the hospital. Like my arms like got pins or like plate and screws in it, and it's all like fresh stitched or fresh staples. And I asked the nurse to get me a Coke, and I probably was like 5-6 minutes later, but it seemed like 5 or 6 hours.
Right.
And as the pastor of the church I went to was walking in, I looked over at my mom.
was
I
he
said,
there?
"Where's that fucking bitch in my goddamn coke. When I'm like drugged up like that, I turn into an asshole.
Right.
Like, I don't need these. Like,
That's yeah.
Certain
and
things.
like, she like, as I like, my motherfucking coke, and he just walked in, my mom goes, oh, hey.
Yo, it's like
Hey, preacher. I'm like, oh, man.
he forgave
it's
you.
like dream. Have you ever had a dream where you were just
He did not.
wait? What happened though? What'd you do?
My last full pad practice of junior year football, I played right tackle, and we were doing a play where I pushed the defensive end out, and the running back's supposed to go on my left hip, and he went right. And
Oh shit! They just collided.
I was on the defensive end, the linebacker went here, and the running back went here, and just the way it was just.
They just snapped.
I was like, oh, that's weird, and I looked, and the bone was sticking out right here.
Oh no!
And I went to I went to school in Alabama, so there's a handful of rednecks that go to the school.
It'd be alright.
Our kicker like rode like,
David.
Yeah, no, literally.
David,
Let the boys play.
be all right.
Let the boys play.
Literally, that's what's coming. And, pause. And
I was very sick.
our kicker like rode bulls, so he's like a bow-legged kicker. Could kick the shit out of the wall though.
I got a
And he's like, we just pop it
Hold
back
on
in.
now, we'll be all right,
He's like,
yeah.
Pop it back in.
Alright.
And I'm like, I literally went, pop it back in. It's sticking the fuck out. And like,
Yeah, all right.
our wide receiver coach like walked over and he's like,
Bite the towel.
ooh. And he's like torn his ACL and he was like, ooh. And I was like, I was like, what happened?
Yeah, 'cause
It
you're
was so bad.
You're loopy at that point. Yeah.
And it happened like right before, like we were horrible that year, my junior year. We were ass. We won state my senior year, but we were ass my junior year. And it was right before basketball, and that was my sport. And I was like, bro, like I literally, because of this, I went from playing the 3 to playing the 5 because I cannot shoot the ball.
Yeah, you couldn't.
Like,
Yeah.
because like that was my shot. Is I like, I mean, that's how far I can do with this hand.
right, you were still-
That's it with this one. Like, I can't
Dang.
cookie jar it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
But we're reliving high school memories. Oh, what I could have been.
I could have been.
Take
But
me
I
back
could
in
have been.
time.
Goddamn, man.
Take me back in time. I would.
I'd have had a full ride to state if I. Yeah.
I'd have played at Bama, baby. Roll Tide.
All right, I don't care about piss, but
Tide.
I kind of do want to cycle back to that answer because it was a really, really good one about like not being at your prime. Because I think like when you're young,
you think
like your prime has got to be somewhere in your 20s or like early 30s.
Yeah, you think like 30 is like boom, peak Mount Everest.
I think it's just because we don't see it enough in this country. We're just like people, because I've been seeing some
Even as
super motivational things where like people are 70, 80 years old still
Yeah,
moving,
even
jumping
when you were
around.
little, like when you were younger, when you were 18, the way you looked at like somebody 35, you would think, oh, old ass nigga.
Oh, for sure. Oh, super,
You know what I'm saying?
super duper.
Old ass nigga. Like,
Super.
Yeah.
but that was also before this like whole nationwide, worldwide, like everybody is taking care of themselves damn near because everybody's trying to.
Or they're on Ozempic.
Yep.
Yeah.
This
But
is-
if you thought about it,
I am not on Ozempic. Just like,
you might you might
Drake.
this
Heard
crazy.
you like I'm young. So,
You still listening to Drake?
um,
You've gone back and listened to a couple tracks.
So, like, you know how I'm very particular about like what I listen to while I'm rowing. I had a lot of Drake on there, and every time it would come on during training sessions, like it was not doing it. I was like, oh no, I was like, oh man.
Just wasn't giving you the same.
But it wasn't like I wasn't disliking them. It was just it wasn't the same. It just wasn't. Nothing was the same.
Nothing was the same.
Nothing was the same.
Nothing was the same.
don't do the play.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Disrespect him.
It'll.
What do you? Can you describe what you think is happening? Like when what's happening? Because I think before you understood that Drake was a character,
Yes, always.
right? So like,
Always.
what's the difference now?
The difference now is I didn't realize how like
Young, he liked him. I was playing.
Say Drake.
I was like him young. He already knew. I know, but I think the difference is I didn't realize how much that he didn't understand of the culture. I thought that he had a very
Some
I thought
type of grasp.
I thought he had a good grasp on the culture, but he exposed himself that he doesn't have any grasp.
I would argue that I didn't think he would have a grasp because of how famous he was at a young age.
Yeah.
'Cause I
Right.
watched I
Right.
watched Degrassi when I was young. So like he was a child actor. He was a child star, and then nothing. You the Best came, or what's the song?
Best I Ever Had.
Best I Ever Had came out, and like that was my ringback tone. I've been a Drake fan. Like,
Right.
Yeah. Now, see, that's a good point. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say that I think that's a good point because when Drake first started, we were graduating high school, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like, that's when like all, his first song, I'm Going In with Lil Wayne, you know, like that. And like all the other things that he had going on, Every Girl and everything like that. We saw him and we're like, wasn't he on Degrassi? Like he's rapping now? He's not too bad. Like he's actually pretty good. Like we all thought that. Like he's actually pretty good. And then So Far Gone came out, and then like we kept on listening to all the rest of the stuff after that. And we're like, he's actually really good. And so that mindset changed of like him being famous beforehand. He's making good music, like making good music. I think with him not understanding the culture and like having the features from like Bun B and like being so tied to the Houston like scene and like making all these connections with everybody else, I think that everybody was kind of like, oh, that's cute. Like he's trying, you know, and like he's really trying here, and like he's putting out good work, you know. So like, yeah, let's continue to ride with this guy. Like it'll be good. But then it never like evolved past that. It became like a facade.
well, it was also to the point to where he was so big, people didn't really look at what he did for the culture.
Right.
You were going to be on a hit if he was on the
Right.
song.
Right.
So everyone was just like, yep.
Right.
I think that I always thought that him with Degrassi and the way that if you look at old clips, the way he would interact with his family back then, I thought that was him acting like, you know, just trying to play that little part of his family or acting very proper, you know, and the like how he really was how he was rapping. Not the tough guy shit.
Oh.
But now I'm seeing it as, like the rapper Drake, that was his act. Like that was really like his persona. That's not how he is.
So let's
Behind closed doors.
But that
Like
ruins it for you.
Doesn't ruin it.
Because you know that most of these people are not the persona that they're playing for.
right.
Of course, but it's like I know that he doesn't really, he can't empathize as much as I thought he could.
Didn't Future himself say that like he talks about drugs and doing drugs all the time and stuff, but he's not even like
he doesn't do them.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, why don't we talk about that and how like that's
Because he still sold them. You know what I mean? Like he was still there. He was still like actually around it. So it's like, you know, that he does have a firm grasp on that whole like dynamic.
But Drake's around the strip clubs and the women
my
all
whole
the time.
thing, I just really think
He is, but he still doesn't have like that certain self-awareness. Like
I think that he
I get what you're saying.
it's hard to explain.
I think that he just looks corny to you now.
No. He was always corny. That was fine. He was always corny, and that was fine. It was cool because he could, like, the music is good. The music sounds good.
Yes.
I'm not saying all Drake. I'm not saying all the Drake songs, because when he's in his lovey-dovey bag and singing, that shit's still fire no matter what, because that's perfect. But when he was really getting into that little rapper bag that he started to dive into around 2016 going forward, but I just hit the switch. Those type of songs, they don't hit the same now, because it's like, do you even know what you're talking about now?
Dude, the culture vulture.
Yeah, see, oh man. Now
I don't know why. I'm sorry to cut you off, but the whole time you were talking about like putting on an act and people like you brought up Future like didn't do drugs, we sold them, and like all I kept thinking of was the clip of Rick Ross saying, "I ate a lot of pears."
I ate a lot of
pears.
Shout out.
I don't know why I thought of that. It just kept running through my head.
Pears.
A lot of pears.
Was this actual Rick Ross? Or
Yeah, he wanted to start losing weight.
He said it like
He was bigger.
He had his shirt off when he said it.
Yeah,
and,
they
like,
asked him.
You can tell the interview was like,
Pears.
He's doing Ross Fit. That's what he was doing, was Ross Fit.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
but yeah, sorry to cut you off.
No. I was gonna say, I keep on seeing and hearing claims that like there's a ghostwriter for Drake and he doesn't write his own stuff. Can we put that to bed? Like as an understand? No.
No, there's a lot of stuff that had disappointed me that I've heard now. I'm like, damn, he didn't do that one either.
But
fuck.
do we know this? Like, is this proven?
Yeah, because now,
or is it people just trying to keep on like they keep on trying to attack him and like, make these claims?
No, now they're actually like leaking the actual reference tracks. So now you're hearing where he got it from. You're
Yeah, there are like certain songs that I think most people
like,
wouldn't give a fuck about. Like, no
damn.
one cares if he didn't write Hotline Bling.
Right,
Like, no one
right,
cares,
right,
you know.
right.
There's just certain songs, but then there are other songs where like you really hope that was him because it was like a
Yeah.
rappy song where you're just
So
like, I
good.
hope that this was his
I
perspective.
hope that was his.
You know what I mean?
But I mean, let me be fair. There's a song that I loved that I found out that Drake wrote and another artist performed. Lil Wayne single.
Well,
And I'm single.
That makes sense.
No, I'm single. Drake did that one. So Drake does have a pen. You know what I mean? But I think he got to the point where he had to, play the part like an actor. He's not going to write all of his own lines, but he's so good at being the part. He makes it sound better.
In like rap and hip hop, I think there's a lot more
Yes.
ghostwriting that goes on.
Yeah.
Because you look
Yes.
at like, because I listen to a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Like I listen to rap, I listen to Latin music a lot. I listen to country. Like country specifically, they're very open about who's writing whose songs. Like there's songs that are huge, like that, like Morgan Wallen sings that a guy who like doesn't even have a gold record wrote.
yeah.
Hardy.
But like he'll tell you that he wrote it, or like him and like 6 other people just sit down and they'll write a song and only one of them will perform it. Like it's very open in like the country world.
Right.
Yeah.
Whereas I think in the hip hop side of things, it's like known, but it's like
It's known.
you don't
and
talk about it.
but
because
you're-
it's
you
like,
can look it
credibility-
up. You can see
Yeah, your
it.
credibility
is going to get
Yeah,
taken
because
hit.
it's like, damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was nice.
but then again, like country, you're not talking about like
You're not telling people
switches
you're
and
the best
shysters.
rapper.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and
You're
trying to
talking
make,
about your tractor and the love of your life,
Yeah.
and Tennessee and Bama
It's-
football.
That's the
and-
whole
it's
thing.
clever rhymes and like
Yeah.
like being as clever with as many words as possible.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about persona, right? Especially with hip hop, and we talked about this before, where like that's what you're really trying to sell. Like at the end of the day, if somebody else is writing your stuff or not, like if you're on the spotlight right then and there, and like your name is associated with that, that's all that matters, right? But as we're going through this, and we're seeing all this uncover, I think that's just like extra ammo for people who don't want to like Drake anymore, or
Yes,
like
of course.
like it's
Of
like
course.
oh yeah,
people who,
they're gonna
people who
latch
didn't
onto that.
like Drake in the first place.
Yeah, exactly,
And
exactly.
there's
like,
also that
Kanye.
that kind of connotation where if you do like Drake, you don't like the culture.
Yeah,
So it's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like-
I like both. Like, what,
To me,
yeah.
the only way to really appreciate Drake is when he talks about being the best at doing something. You got to think about it as in the fact of he's the best to like manipulate this game and to run that shit up. Don't think about it as like as a rapper, or just think about he's the best one to actually look at it as a game. He played the game the best
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
until now.
Yeah, I just think this. Yeah, it's completely okay to just outgrow certain music, you know, and just be like, you know what, for whatever reasons, this just isn't for me anymore. Like it did it for me. It got me through like these years. I thought that what I was listening to was very, very cool, and then now it's just not for whatever reason. Like I phased out of listening to this person talk about whatever it is they talk about. Like,
But I also think he is the person that now, like he really is that in the club trying to bag the bitches. That's him.
yeah.
So that's why the music sounds like that. So he's being his authentic self in a way.
Do you think that if he was never famous beforehand, like with Degrassi, that he would have ever have made it?
nope.
Yes.
I don't think so.
You don't think so? To me, he's a great actor. He's one of the greatest
Oh, okay.
actors.
I thought we meant
You
in
know
a
what I mean?
sense of made it as an artist.
As an artist,
Oh.
music.
no.
I
You said that nigga's one of the greatest actors.
He's a great actor.
He's a great.
Great actor. Watch him. Watch how he interacts in
I mean,
different
even
sides.
nowadays, like
He's a fucking great actor.
he does like
His acting.
the video you and me love, Sunday Conversations. There's a behind the scenes of that Caleb Presley guy went on. He was like, a lot of the stuff was Drake's idea.
Yeah.
Like having his son on,
He's
like
right for a lot of people.
doing interactions like with Glenny and like bringing this and that and that. Like,
Have you guys seen that? Do you guys watch? Do you know what Sunday Conversations are? No. It's a Barstool Sports segment where this dude Caleb Presley is like super funny and just like
He's funny
just
as fuck. I know
ridiculous.
you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about? He
Yeah,
does
he's
these.
funny
They're
as
called
fuck.
Sunday Conversations.
Yes,
Sunday
so the
spelled like
Kodak Black
like Sunday
one.
ice cream.
Yeah.
it's a one-on-one interview.
With-
But he does
with
a
a famous
character.
person.
Yeah, he does a
Right.
character the whole time.
And he did, and he did. So he had an interview with Drake last year. That was it's like the most viewed Sunday conversation like on YouTube. It's funny.
Yeah.
But
It
like,
is funny.
But yeah, watch it. It's cool. It's cool.
Yeah, he has a lot of people like there, and they're all funny. Like he said Drake, he recently had Sexy Red.
Yeah.
That was even funny. Like,
Yeah.
because he did a bit with Sexy Red. I'm not. Oh yeah, he said, "Is this? Oh, am I talking?" He's like, "We're gonna do a segment called Drugs or Baseball." He's like, "I'm gonna say a word and you tell me if it's drugs or baseball." And it's like, he's like, stepped on the bag, and Sexy Red's like, drugs, and he's like, baseball, and like all of them are baseball.
They're all baseball.
And she's like,
base.
yeah, I don't fuck with baseball. It's just funny. Like,
Stepped on the bag.
he, like,
That's funny.
the whole time he's in like this like horrible like shirt and tie, and he'll ask questions. He'll be like,
Yeah. They're so
look
funny.
like it's hilarious. Like,
Pass the needle.
yeah,
Oh, that has to be about some drugs.
Baseball.
Baseball.
to where even I'm like, I'm a baseball.
I would say
like,
I would say drugs.
Yeah.
I'm an avid baseball watcher.
Yeah,
I'm
because
like,
hold on, pass the needle. I haven't heard
He's like
that one
steroids.
yet.
Steroids.
Yeah.
That's funny.
When,
Things like that.
when it
Things
comes
like
to Drake, I think that when it's all said and done, we're gonna like his music, but I think he might have to just go ahead and be an actor.
Do you think he needs to change
He's so
professions?
good with not change professions, just be in front of the camera more.
I'm on the same page with you. I think
He's
his
so
next
good at acting.
his next album's gonna be his best.
Thank
It
you.
is. It
so
is.
we talked about
It
this
is,
before.
but-
We talked
Because
about
how are we
people,
gonna look
and
at
you
it,
saw
though?
this on Twitter too, because I saw you retweet a comment about it.
Yeah.
There's people like, I understand Kendrick won it. Fine, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I personally don't have it. Like, I will not give my opinion on who won because I understand that I lean towards Drake. Like, I like Drake.
Mm-hmm.
I don't dislike Kendrick. I just never really liked most of his music.
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
not what I like to listen to. And that goes for like most West Coast style rap. Like, that's just not what I like.
Right.
Yeah.
But people like are getting obnoxious with it. Like, oh, Kendrick would win a versus. Like,
Kendrick's not winning a versus.
you saw that tweet.
Kendrick's not winning
Yeah.
a versus.
And I'm like, all
the
these people
verses
are,
comes down to the crowd.
people
no,
are getting like
no,
people are getting
no.
so like obnoxious with it. I'm like, he's gonna drop something and it's gonna blow
But Drake,
up.
yeah, Drake. If Drake just,
But I think
No,
that
Drake
they're-
is absolutely killing Kendrick in the verses.
yeah.
versus,
Absolutely. It's
Yeah.
not even.
I mean,
it's not
but-
even a question.
but-
Drake had
yeah.
like,
But
it's really not.
It's the
He's
underlying
close to, like,
tones.
Yeah.
I'm
that
pretty
he's
sure
so-
he's
Yeah.
close to MJ on like most number ones.
Dude,
if he hasn't passed
dude,
him.
he has. There's just so many songs.
I say MJ like
Yeah.
he's Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
We got you. Yeah, no, we got
Just
you.
yeah. There's so many songs.
Yeah.
No, it would
Yeah.
it wouldn't be like that.
And I think too, for so long,
all of his. But no, go ahead.
sure.
Yeah.
Just real quick, I was just gonna say, I think for so long people were trying to knock him, even before all this stuff happened. Like they were trying to knock him for being too sensitive and all that sort of stuff. And I had this conversation with Muhammad a while ago, but like how he makes music for like people who like have actual emotions and all that sort of stuff. Which say what you want about that, but yeah,
That's the Drake that we like.
But exactly. But like,
I like
if you're-
Drake with the
when-
melodies. I don't
Exactly.
like Drake when he acts up.
Yeah, exactly.
Dead ass.
Exactly. But like within the sphere of music that we're concerned with right now for this conversation, like that is not what like the hardest dudes are gonna want to go and listen to, especially if you're trying to fit.
Whoa.
That's crazy.
The hardest
That's
dudes.
crazy.
What are the hardest dudes listening to?
Hey yo,
Over there.
I also,
Running my nigga, I love my.
to your point, and sorry if you didn't finish it.
No.
But I also think we live in a world where the person at the top of anything is always going to be challenged.
Of course.
Yeah.
You look at
Of course.
Drake,
Of course.
even other genres of music. Everyone's trying to find a reason to not like Taylor Swift,
Yeah.
Yeah.
myself included.
Yeah.
Like we talk about the girl I've gone on a couple of dates with. She was like, just give her a try. Like, because I don't have anything against the girl. Like, I just don't like her music. And I say that I also haven't listened to her music
Right.
since she was country.
Yeah.
So I drove up here in 2 days. The first day, the entire 7.5 hours, there's a playlist on Spotify of every song she has. It's like 17 hours long. I just put it on a shuffle. And I wrote down ones I like and didn't like. And I'm like, there's actually a lot that I don't mind listening to.
Hey,
But you have this aura of like, oh, no, I don't like fucking Taylor Swift. Like, I like the NFL. Get her off my TV. Because, like, it's like she's becoming so big, she's entering other realms.
Yeah.
And people don't like change in their realms.
they don't want to.
And even like, and not just music. Like, I say this because I'm wearing a
Hey,
girl
and I was
basketball
gonna
shirt.
say something. Hey, he
Look
locked
at
in right now.
Juju
People don't even know.
And like
You don't
you
even
look
know.
at like Caitlin Clark, like there's instantly when she got in the WNBA, people were like, well, like she's the best college player of all time. But because people are saying that, Now they're like, no, we watch because
Bro.
of Angel Reese or we watch because of Kelsey Plum. It's like,
Yeah.
why can't you just watch and say they're all good?
They're
Like,
good. Like,
the women's basketball's in a good place because of
bro.
Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese
Yes.
and Kelsey
See,
Plum.
so
But
the
it's so,
thing,
like,
good.
hostile.
She's good as fuck, but also she's not gonna come and dominate the WNBA. Like, there's truth on both sides of it.
But see,
Yeah.
the
She's
point
nice.
is, but these conversations though are happening amongst a bunch of people that don't know shit about shit. So these people, I'm not even worried about. I always know that people at the top are going to have a bunch of people that are just like doing their regular jobs, listening to them on the way to work, like they just talk shit about them. But we're talking about peers at the top. So I don't see a bunch of people like artists talking shit about Taylor Swift and all that. But see, it's the Drake thing where it's the peers are turning in on Drake
It's
and
like-
being like, get the fuck out of
And
here.
Universal
That's different.
pushing those songs. That something is weird about that.
Yeah.
That's the difference
It's
here.
like, what?
Who's the guy? I think it might have been Eminem that said, "Don't worry, Drake, they'll come for you too." Is that him that said that a few years ago?
If you listen to that 616 in LA, it sounds like Kendrick is really warning Drake. Hey man, I'm one of the ones who can help you, but like I'm trying to warn you that they're trying to come for you. Before Drake put out the next one, when he put out the Meet the Grams and then Not Like Us, but it sounded like he was really trying to warn Drake and like, hey man, they're against you, bro. Even the academics is again like, listen to me. I don't know, but I want to ask you about this, LeBron James.
I don't know shit about it.
So I mean, everybody knew the Lakers drafted Bronny.
Okay.
LeBron's playing with his son,
It happened.
bro.
That's crazy.
Nick,
That is next level.
they put a picture up. They put a graphic up. Like they showed like when that nigga was born, Bron was averaging 27, like 8 and 8, and that nigga just got drafted. LeBron is averaging 27, 7 and 8. That nigga's an alien, bro.
That's crazy.
What are we talking about?
Yeah.
This nigga
That's-
is
see, that's-
about
see,
to
that's
be
what I'm
on
saying,
the
like,
court
there's-
with his son.
there's
Is that a good thing?
Like you don't
Yes.
have a band of NBA players just talking shit about LeBron.
Bro, he's
They're looking at him like that's LeBron. Yeah, that's LeBron. Like,
he's played for this many seasons, but he has every year he is one of the best like in the league, if not the best. Like he's an all-star every year for like 20 years straight. He's an alien, bro. No, that's not human shit.
How much longer is he going to play for?
I don't know. He might play till he's fucking 60.
I think he'll try to play until the next.
Till yeah.
Who is going to be even better
It's
than
like
Bronny?
yes, he is.
The next son's he's like
He's got
6'8"
two.
now.
He's got two. Yeah, he's got like 2 years.
Yeah.
He went from like 6 two.
Bronny's only 6'2".
Yeah,
In the NBA, like
and what's
Yeah.
he
Steph
was
Curry's
shorter
6'3" and considered short. And I'm like,
Yes.
well, I'm 6'3". I'm usually the taller one
yeah.
He went from like shorter than Bronny to like 6'8", and
in
like,
like 2 years, if that.
bruh,
And they're just getting the best of tutoring.
he's better than Bronny, and they already drafted Bronny. And LeBron just signed an extension. He's staying, and he picked the coach. He picked JJ Redick. We're about to watch this man play NBA fucking basketball with his 2 sons.
It's crazier too. When
What
you
the
look
fuck
at,
are we talking about?
That's crazy.
What the fuck are we talking about?
When you look at what's the younger son's name?
Bryce.
Bryce. He's on the USA team, his age group USA team, and all these other former NBA players' sons.
Carmelo Anthony's son.
Melo, Boozer.
Yeah.
He's got twins. There's like they like did a thing where they showed all the NBA sons, and the only one still playing is Bron.
And they're good. Like they're. But what the fuck are we talking about? He's playing NBA basketball with his son.
That's I mean, I get that's a singular
that
experience on this
has
planet.
Never happened.
Like he's
in
the only
history
person
of basketball, and niggas will still walk up to you and be like, "Well, Michael Jordan was out there, bro."
Yeah,
get out of my face, bro.
Yeah, I'm not worried
Stop.
about. I'm not worried.
Michael
about
Jordan
those
was
people.
good. He was good.
He was good.
He was good.
I'm not. Yeah, I can't.
He was good.
I don't speak too much on NBA.
Michael Jordan was good.
Yo, hold on, but maybe
don't
you
watch
just,
it
but
enough.
don't just say Michael Jordan was good though. Don't do that.
Michael Jordan has the best legacy.
Don't do that.
But
Don't do that.
now I don't know.
Michael Jordan. You sound like
Yeah, because Tayshaun Prince is good.
you sound like
Right.
what's the
Like Chauncey Billups is good. Like he was good.
Yeah.
what's the dudes in
They were good.
You know what I mean?
what's the damn Eddie Murphy movie?
Which one?
Coming to America.
Yeah.
Rocky Marciano was good.
Yeah, he was good.
But compared to Joe Louis, Rocky Marciano ain't shit.
Ain't shit yet, bro.
He beat Joe Louis's ass. That's right. He did whoop Joe Louis' ass.
Yeah, that down. That was perfect.
Fuck you, and fuck you. Who's next?
That is crazy though. They're like even at that level, like greatness is still like a very, very different thing.
He's not just playing at the same time as his son. He's still he's a starter and one of the best in the league.
Right.
I got a question for you on this.
So crazy.
Do you think, because I have my opinion, and I usually don't,
Alien.
like, I can't speak on NBA enough because as
Bible story.
It's a Bible story.
He's a biblical character.
As a Wizards fan, I'm just not going to watch until they're good,
Bible,
and they're not going to be good anytime soon. But do you think LeBron is on anything?
It's weird because it's weird for me to say I know.
Because as someone who's
am I? But hey, who the fuck am I?
I think
Eric Lewis.
Yo, that's crazy.
I do.
As someone,
you know what? Yeah, I do know that LeBron James was taking care of his body. It was a.
You better just go
I'm not saying it's a bad
outside the
thing,
country, get a few things, come back.
But remember, it was a known fact in like 2015 before LeBron James spends $1 million on his body every year. It's like what
on what? Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Like
nutrition, just like food,
eating bananas.
I'm not saying
like stretching. You got the most expensive stretching bands.
I'm more so saying in a sense of like, as someone who's on TRT myself, do you think he's on like TRT, HGH,
not anymore?
Like that?
I don't. Not anymore. I think they cracked down on it, and that's why we see now he's.
Oh, I didn't know they cracked down on it.
Yeah, I mean now the banned substances list it grows, so now we see that he's not allowed to take what he was before because now
I'm
we
not
see.
gonna lie, I didn't think they tested it.
Now we see now we see injuries. Like we're seeing injuries. Now finally, LeBron's finally getting injured at 40 years old.
Yeah, playing at that level is crazy. Just now getting
being
injuries.
one of the best.
Yeah.
Okay, another one. Sorry to keep on this topic, but in a sense of better athlete at the age.
Who versus who?
Him versus Cristiano Ronaldo.
I don't know enough. I don't know enough about that. I don't know enough.
Yeah, there's just not as much banging up in soccer.
Well,
you know,
I would agree with that. There's not as much.
It's the opposite of rugby. You're like, you know what I mean? Rugby, I expected to be a lot of injuries early on.
They play all of it. They just don't. They don't not play.
And
they're
like
always in season. Right?
Even on the low end during a soccer game, they average running like 6 or 7 miles.
Yeah, bro, your ligaments
crazy.
Running 6 or 7 miles damn near fucking every day is crazy. You're an ultra runner. What are you talking about?
And it's not like just running 6 or 7 miles. It's
cutting,
stop and go,
cutting,
stopping.
Like, That's kind of crazy.
But I look at them two as like the peak athlete ever.
Okay. Peak athlete, definitely LeBron, because I'm thinking like gladiator shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you put him in a gladiator, like, who's more likely to kill a lion? You know what I mean? Like, that's what it would be.
Yeah, John Jones.
John Jones
is crazy.
Yeah.
Bro.
I only thought of that because there's a UFC fight tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Are you getting in the... No, that wasn't
UFC scary because like the most normal looking person.
You're not trying to get into any fighting, are you?
No idea what the fuck they know. Oh my god!
I don't think we talked about it, but I definitely would like to get back into. We were talking with a guy yesterday about a dude who teaches Muay Thai, and that's like the.
Come on over to Vanguard.
Yeah,
you can tell he did because one of his ears.
Yeah, I mean, I only ever like.
That's
I
what
was
I look at.
Mm-hmm.
I was Olympic style taekwondo, right? So I was just all legs, all kicking. That's it. I don't really know how to use my hands like that. I can use them, but like it's all kicking. It's all kicking. Hey,
also,
man.
don't. And I'm gonna. Don't let this man play it down.
Yeah,
10th grade at Osborne, he could stand in the hallway flat-footed and kick the ring.
He could still do that.
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, I remember that.
It's like him in his game. He's downplaying. Like,
you did that kick for the Mulan part of the lip sync.
Yeah.
Put it this way:
Corey Sellner and I were talking about that.
Still don't know what Tyler does for a living, so they know he might be able to kick somebody's head off the shoulders. I'm sure
he's definitely has
a skill set.
A particular set of skills.
Yeah, he's downplaying.
As this man's best friend is one person I wouldn't fuck with.
Bro, listen.
Yeah.
Listen,
Love you.
Yeah.
And I'm a big boy.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel about
Listen.
Mikey too. There's just certain people, and I think this way about Kendrick. I think that there are certain people that like
Yeah.
you don't want them at the house just thinking about you.
your downfall.
Yeah, like
Yep.
you just don't want certain people putting all their energy into it. Just like, how can I fuck this person's life up? Like, there's just certain people you just don't want doing that.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I think Mikey's one of those people. You don't want that.
Yeah.
We just knew that early on with the pranks that he would just
Yes.
put together. You
Yes.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
You open up a cupboard, a cup of water falls out. You know, you're just like, why is he setting this up? Like, what is going on?
See what happens if you even tweet at him randomly.
You know, constantly. Yeah. It's just
Oh, really?
yeah.
I found your DraftKings account.
That's that's crazy.
Yeah, that changed the face of the
Yeah, he's just too resourceful.
I need David Tepper to tweet at his burner.
Listen,
It's over with.
Oh yeah, I know.
that's been documented on there. I'm going to the home opener.
You are to do what?
Watch the football game.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Watch a little football.
See, conniving.
Yeah, the small time.
But at this
villain.
point, it's like
For sure.
there's a very large like population of the fans who are like finally seeing what I see. So I don't really have to do anything.
Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
Big head.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay.
Wait, there's
All
a
right.
question.
What mine?
Yeah.
The one from last night.
Yes. Is that what you were?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
So I'm glad that we waited. Let's see where are we at. Yeah, I'm glad we waited to this point. We can make this like the last point. I didn't want it to be the first, but I did want. I like these opportunities so that we can try to have a real conversation about this, because especially when I like observe something that's kind of new.
I didn't even know it was a thing.
And like it's weird footing for a lot of people when like new things are implemented. I want to know how people feel about it. Okay, so Juneteenth is pretty new, right? As far as like it being a federal holiday, it was
It's a federal holiday.
when did it become that? That was
Probably 2 years.
2 years ago.
Yep.
It's something. So federal. So everyone.
Banks are closed.
Banks are closed.
Stock
People
market
get
is
off.
closed. The stock market is closed. That's a huge day.
So as RJ put it last night, everyone benefits. Like it's right.
Supposed to benefit.
I guess we were having a discussion on what holidays we say happy before, or like that you pronounce it to another person. Like, hey, Merry
Happy
Christmas,
birthday.
man. You know, happy
Christmas.
birthday,
Happy New
happy
Year's.
St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving.
You know.
Can't even say that shit.
And so there was a situation that started this. So I'll start from there. So work at a restaurant. There was a black chick I'm working with that went to a table. There was a singular black guy at the table, and there were 5 white chicks with him. And I guess she looked at the black dude in his eyes.
She was black.
She was black. Okay. And said,
Boy, she black.
You're talking about
if you,
Logic or-
like, you talking about Logic or J. Cole?
Yeah, was she a cornball sister?
if you look at what do the braids say?
Yeah, what
That's
is
so funny. If
That was crazy.
what is he up to these days? What was that guy?
He has dementia.
What was his name?
Skip Bayless.
No,
You talking about Rob Parker?
yeah, that was his name. Yeah, I was like, that's not Skip Bayless that said that. Okay.
Skip Bayless was what did the braids say to you?
Oh, right.
Yeah.
He has dementia for. No, he doesn't have.
He clearly does.
You could just look at him and tell. So
has
like a Joe Biden type of dude.
He's still on TV.
Joe Biden and Skip Bayless just having a conversation
I
together.
believe that, bro. I don't even want to get into that, bro.
Okay.
Come on, bro.
Like why Joe Biden? No, he's dead. He's definitely dead, but he's alive. Okay, all right. Let's get back to this. Okay, so she goes over, and yes, if you look at her, you say that's a black chick. So that's her perception. So she said, "Happy Juneteenth" to the guy, and he just kind of looked up at him and was like, "Can we have waters?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
he didn't acknowledge
Yeah.
it.
he acknowledged it with like he didn't say it back. He was just like
He didn't like the fact that she said that.
yes, like he was taken aback. Like now he didn't tell her why or any of that. So it's not like she got a perspective But she did get a response.
One black guy and
5 white chicks.
girls.
Right. See, so it seems like the context is everything.
Yeah.
So she comes to me and she's like, Earl, this is what just happened. Why do you think that this is what just happened? And I'm like,
what did he look like?
I don't know.
Did he like men?
I don't know.
I don't like me and
I don't know.
This is important. Like, what was he doing? What was his goal?
To eat food. To eat food. He was at a restaurant.
You're thinking what I'm thinking.
Yeah, like, what?
Well, my perspective was, I think that it being new, it probably means a lot for a lot of different people, and people don't know exactly how to navigate it right now.
Did he seem like the type that has ever watched the BET?
I know. Okay, so let's say the answer is yes. Now what do you have to say to that? Okay, what if the answer is no? Now what do you have to say?
Oh yeah, like that makes sense.
Okay.
For her to say that means that he looked a certain part.
I think he just had black skin. So I think that was looking the part. So she was like, "Hey, nigga, happy Juneteenth! Like we here together. What's up?" Like,
he's just surrounded.
Yes,
and then for you to be like, "Hey, happy Juneteenth."
Okay, so in your mind, if there's no one else around, it's just him, and she goes over and says, "Happy Juneteenth." It's very different context now.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you think that he acts differently?
Probably.
The day has gone by now, twice, Juneteenth, since it's been a federal holiday. Mm-hmm. Do either of you gentlemen see anyone and in a serious way say, hey, happy Juneteenth?
Outside of the corporate emails that we get? No.
Corporate emails. Okay.
See?
Yeah, we talked about that. It is, definitely corporate emails being sent out.
That's a good thing.
Yeah. Because you feel like it, like you don't feel like you should say that.
Hey.
For whatever reason.
Hey.
You're just like, it's not for me to say, or...
Are you asking me personally?
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
it just doesn't even occur to you.
It doesn't, but I have no problem with it, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you know it's Juneteenth, but you're not going to walk up, hey!
Yeah, right, exactly.
Hey, man!
Yeah.
Like, I think it's also so new that from our end, and people like us, we are like navigating like, do we say?
Yeah.
Or is it going to be like, why the fuck are you saying it?
Yeah.
Like,
right.
So this was the question that I was asking is saying happy Juneteenth like saying, what's up, nigga? Does it have some of that connotation or some people feeling it? And I wanted to ask them and not y'all because y'all don't know what the fuck you're talking about, but they do because they're white. So that's why I wanted to ask that question. So there is that feeling is there of just like, I don't know if it's acceptable for me to say that,
right?
Because is there an air of saying, hey, happy you're not a slave anymore day?
Yeah,
right. But I think from my perspective, like I guess if you're asking, like I don't want to come across as pandering,
right?
You know, like
do you walk up and say Happy Black History Month?
Exactly. Yeah,
you don't do that.
Like I'm happy. That makes me happy. If it makes you happy, you guys are happy. Like, that's awesome.
Weird.
I'm cool.
Right.
But I don't want to like be over the top and like go out of my way to like pander. You know what I mean? Because that's like that could be disrespectful. Yeah, exactly.
Hey.
I think RJ has a really, really level head about this, which is just like, it's going to get cringe sometimes because some people are going to say it, but you just have to understand everyone's just trying to navigate and be nice.
Right.
He was like, so if someone does come up to you, you know, with white skin and they're like, hey man, happy Juneteenth. You know, it's like,
it's gonna be
thanks,
fun.
man.
It's gonna be funny.
Yeah.
It's gonna be funny
because I walked into work and there were people that were just like, "Hey, man, what are you doing at work today? Like, what are you doing here, man?" Like,
they were right.
Yeah. It's like
they're right.
Like, what was I doing?
Because remember I told you last year I went around the whole job site and I was, hey man, you're not coming to work tomorrow, right? Like,
service industry is not the same.
And in our field, like we have to put it we have to get it in our contract for holidays to actually be holidays and paid. So, if you're not at work, you're just not getting paid for that day.
Yeah.
So I went around that day and weeks before, and I was like, "Hey man, you pulling up on Juneteenth? You pulling up? Because I know me."
Yeah.
And I got stirred the pot, and then finally they had like a whole meeting. We're talking about like a very big data center. And I had to bleep this out. It's Pornhub's new big data center. Hundreds of people, and they had a meeting. And they were like, "You know what? This week, if you don't come to work, on Monday, it's okay. It's an optional day, and now it's actually in the contract that it's an optional day for us.
Yeah.
So
An optional day for anybody.
You don't come to work that day. It's okay.
Like, no, hold on. Let me look at you. Yeah, you're good.
Yeah,
you don't have to come to work. Let me look at this. It's like Logic.
Coming for a
you
few
got to
hours.
come to work.
But
Come to lunch.
J. Cole, you can go. Logic, you're coming to work.
But it does feel weird. There's certain people that were like, "Yeah, I'm coming to work tomorrow. That day's not for me." And I'm just like, "Oh,
So
it feels kind of weird."
So like
He's not-
this is how
They
I think
said
of it.
Yeah, some people may feel like, to the pandering point, like I don't know if I feel right taking the day off. You know what I mean? Because maybe now I feel like I shouldn't be taking that day
It
off.
wasn't in that context.
Yeah.
It was in the context
I
of
was just like, oh yeah, I see the other tone.
yeah. That ain't for me. That ain't day for me.
Right. Yeah.
I'll be here tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'll be here tomorrow.
I'll be here tomorrow. Just another day to me.
Yeah,
Think of it like this.
That's not for me.
Think of it like this, right? Like, you're listening to a brand new artist that like you love their music. They happen to be black and it happens to be hip hop, right? And you go to like one of your, like, as a white guy, you go to one of your black friends. You're like, "Hey man, I really like, I feel like you really like this artist," or like even somebody that you don't even know. Be like, "Oh, have you listened to so and so?" And they're like, "Why? Because I'm black?" Like it's like along those same. It's not the same thing, but it's like that's the kind of argument that you're starting to like get to, where it's like, just because I'm black, I've listened to this artist before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's
yeah.
it's a balance, right?
Because when people came to me and was just like, "Oh, happy Juneteenth," it was like, "Oh, what are you doing? Working today? Like, shouldn't you want to be off celebrating or doing something?" I was just like,
Hey man, what
I was like, I don't necessarily feel that connected to it. So for me, I didn't wake up and was, first of all, I'm not like a huge holiday guy at first place, but I didn't just,
we're free. Like,
like I didn't wake up that day feeling like extra vibrant or anything like that. You know what I mean?
Oh man,
we're free.
Yeah. So that same chick, as soon as I got in there, she ran over and was just like, "Oh my gosh, like Earl, happy Juneteenth," and hugged me, and I was just like,
That's what.
sure, like that's great. I'm glad you feel good today.
Yeah.
But that's also my temperament. I'm not ever gonna get mad at it. I'm just gonna, it's just gonna be more funny.
Yeah.
Like, you like this day. This is
I will say that the cringiness is it's annoying
Yeah.
of any of the holiday. Like
Yeah.
and there's a common theme of who is always the cringiest. And they look like us with longer hair
That's right.
and bigger chests.
Yep.
And it's just like, bro.
They are like us.
Fucking
They
relax.
are like us.
Yeah.
They are like us.
Yeah. It's like it's enough. It's not like trying too hard, like let people live and be happy with what they want,
Do you feel bad for just like not really caring? Like, oh, it's Juneteenth, but it's cool. But
What's that? Don't care about it.
Yeah.
well, not don't care, but it's just like you're not running around jolly like, hey.
Well, I don't feel that way about
A lot of
99%.
hard.
Yeah, like many things.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like,
It's sort of like how I felt about when like I would say riots, but like protests and stuff were taking place back in 2020. Like there was a very, very large force like of get out there, be heard, at least post a black square, like all these types of things, right?
I did not post a black square.
I also did not. If you go back on my Instagram, there's no black squares. You didn't take a knee?
I didn't take no knee.
You know what I mean?
I got bad joints.
A lot of people just expect you to do certain things, and it's just like,
But you can be upset at the same time without, doing
I think, well, it's
whatever.
also, to that point, it's also that whole rhetoric now of like silence is violence. Like,
Yeah.
motherfucker, like, there's not, I wouldn't go out and march and protest for anything. maybe if like they shut down Chick-fil-A forever,
Right.
like maybe.
If there
But,
was
like,
a march
I
against
just-
David Tepper, all right, look, come on.
Yeah.
But like, there's things I
Let's
like
get it up.
care about
Yeah.
deeply that I still wouldn't like.
Right,
Right.
exactly. Yeah, even something so stupid. What were they burning Nike products for like a few years ago?
Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah. Oh, okay. There you go. So
Colin
exactly,
Kaepernick
and
was
like,
Nike
and like
athlete.
you see
Yeah.
like these old white men that are just
I seen
angry and
that video.
like video recording themselves burning anything that has to do with Nike and all this stuff. It's like, bro, stop,
Yeah.
stop.
Right.
Yeah.
Like things like that on whatever side. It's
Yeah,
like
fuck
it's
that.
I'm not.
You know
I'm
how much
not-
I pay for these dunks? I ain't
Someone-
gonna do that.
Exactly.
Someone had asked a question at my job. We can end it on this one. They said, I guess they were just asking everyone, like, what do you feel like you do for the community?
Yeah.
And I was like,
Bruh.
I'd like to think that the way that one lives,
Yes.
you know, is, I mean, it has a ripple effect. You have an actual direct influence on the world around you, right?
Yes. Yep.
Yes.
And I'd like to think that just the way that I've built my life and built myself, that just the way that I live, hopefully that's what I'm doing for the community.
Yep.
And so I just like to stand by that. Like that's what I'm doing.
It's a very
Just
simple
don't
answer.
expect me to just hop up and just run around with everyone else and just do these things that are expected necessarily. I just like to live. I just like to live.
It's simple.
You're living the life the way you want it in a way that's not affecting anyone else's way to live their own life.
Yeah, I'm not.
Which is
Yeah,
how
definitely not
the
abstracting.
majority of the
anyone's.
people in this world live, but then you have the small minority of either side who's like, well, if you're not doing this, you're for this or for that. Like, no, I'm just doing what the fuck I
Yeah,
want.
it's like, bro,
I'm letting everybody else do what they want to
I'm
do.
letting y'all fight it out.
Bro,
And then you're shamed for not being a part of that and like jumping on the bandwagon with them. And it's like, what? Why? Like,
But I think that there are enough reasonable, like clearly this is a reasonable discussion about this.
Yeah.
So I think you just get around reasonable people.
Well, which is another trait that has been lost in society today, is being reasonable.
Yeah.
At least in the loud minority of folks.
Yeah, it's just a low.
Their
yeah.
voices are
the
elevated.
main,
Yeah.
doing for your community, the main thing is just acknowledging a human.
yeah.
You see somebody outside, just you don't even gotta say anything. You can just a simple acknowledgement. Oh, you're a person. I'm a person. Hey,
Yeah.
hi.
Yep.
You know, because then that leads to the next time. To the next time. Yo. Next time. Hey, what's up? And then it builds.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, I saw a video that was like how men become friends, and it starts with like you just passing each other like
Barbecue.
Yeah, man.
What's up?
What's up? And, you know, next day, oh shit was good, bro. Next day, oh shit was good, bro. And next day, oh shit man was good, bro. You know what I mean? And it builds like, and that's how like
That's
and
funny.
then it leads to men, you know, barbecue.
Barbecue.
Like you.
I like you.
I like
you too, dog.
Let's get married, man. Crazy.
It's crazy.
All right, so we are 9 days out from the rowing.
Oh yeah, when I come
record
back to this pod.
record breaking.
Oh,
so
the next conversation is
So
gonna be
we
live.
are exactly. So we're gonna do a live recording of during your row, and we're gonna place it onto this platform on Earl's World.
Because I know what it's going to look like, what it's going to be, and you're going to be like, oh shit, this motherfucker is really like there. Like people are tuning up. Let me go see this shit in person. You're going to pull up and we're going to speak. So I'm going to have.
Oh, it's actually live.
Yeah, I'm gonna live stream all my work sessions, and yeah,
So Monday of the following week.
yeah, July 8th.
Okay.
I'll start it like in the evening. In my first work session, it'll probably be like work from like Monday night until like Wednesday morning. It sounds
And how many? This is a 1,000,000 meter row.
million meters.
1,000,000 meter row.
How can you put that into like how far that is like in a different
660 miles.
Wow.
660
Now,
miles.
now the better way to think of it is 20K. Takes me about an hour and a half to do a 20K. Yeah, about an hour and a half, hour 20 to do 20K. I'm doing 50 of those.
and you're doing it nonstop.
What's the previous record?
This is the best part. The record right now, recognized by Guinness, is 128 hours. But Concept 2, the company that makes the rowers, the fastest person that's ever rowed 1,000,000 meters did it in 119 hours and like 54 minutes. So he's like 6 minutes shy of 5 days. But they have it categorized where he was like a lightweight, 165 pounds, whatever. But so I'm looking to break his record, and I know I can break his record. So that's like gold medal, silver medal. I have a 10-hour lead on.
So by breaking his record, you also break the Guinness.
The Guinness record.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because the Guinness record is 10 hours less than his, bro.
That's awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've tried.
All right. So that'll be the next time I record. All right.
I'll also add too. We didn't talk about this, but I'm most likely moving up here again.
Hey.
Oh,
When I do, we'll get together and do a little one-on-one.
Yeah, for sure. That'll be awesome.
Well,
Tell my story.
running my neck out.
Yeah, that'll be really
that
cool.
would be good.
I really enjoyed this. You're fun to talk to.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah, we
'Cause
should
I didn't
definitely do
realize
this.
how long you were deployed. That would be a good one.
How long I was deployed?
Yeah.
It wasn't that long.
Wasn't that long, but you were deployed.
Yeah, 7 months and 3 months.
It's a long time.
Yeah, not to you, but
And what's crazy is, and he knows, the deployments is probably the least crazy thing that's happening.
oh yeah,
Yep.
yeah. We definitely gonna pull back up for that one.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah,
All right, well, I gotta get ready for work and see what you got from the farmers market.
Yeah, it smells good.
Yeah.
It smells good.
and let's not go a decade until we see each other.
Yeah, no, Jesus. Yeah, I guess
him like I haven't seen you since high school.
Yeah,
I haven't seen you since the 10-year reunion,
Yeah.
and I saw you for like 5 minutes.
Yeah. That was
Yeah, it's
2019.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Wow.
Dang.
yeah, so crazy.
Speaking of which, don't we have one coming up?